The views shared on this podcast are personal opinions for conversation and insight only. Guest perspectives are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Kalaj Dame or this podcast. Nothing discussed here should be taken as legal, financial, medical, or professional advice. Always do your own research and make decisions based on your individual situation.
I've won a 50 Men of Excellence Award from the Pittsburgh Courier. I'm the first African-American award, first Black History Month award winner in Swissvale. I'm the only African-American WPIAL softball coach. I've received a proclamation from the city of Pittsburgh. I've been on the newspaper cover for music, sports teams. I received, 3 years ago, a citation from the state in the Senate. I have my own day in Pennsylvania, August 5th, John Scott Wilson Day. You want me to cater to your ignorance. Everybody's ignorance is different. So you taking your ball, walking home, taking it away from me is doing just as much damage as me punching you in your face. Because I'm like, damn.
Is it?
Yeah, to me, because bro, we just tried to get a position. We can't be on the same fucking team, bro. Because I get the point guard and you got to be the shooting guard, bro. My reality kicked in when my son drowned. And when people be like, your son's alive. What you talking about he drowned? He wasn't alive. Not at that time.
We just shine a light where they hide the grave. It's the Kalaj Dame Podcast.
So I've been knowing you for fucking years, bro.
Decades, bro.
For a long time.
Since we was kids, really, basically, you know?
You're a little older than me, but I think I was a kid. You wasn't no kid.
How old are you?
44?
Yeah. Ain't too far, but yeah.
So I want to say my first memory of you was Club Lager.
Good Night?
Nah.
Lyrical Mayhem?
Maybe. It was a contest. It was like a bikini contest.
That was the second one.
And it was 10 groups or whatever performing. Y'all was one, and we was one. And that's when I was with Schoolyard.
Schoolyard, yeah.
And
Spuck.
Yeah.
Key Blows.
Yeah. So we was down there with them, representing with them.
Yeah.
Me and my cousin Frank, we was in a group.
Frank,
he went by Forbulon at the time.
Goofy. He had a lot of hair at the time, right? Yeah, he never really wore it braided.
Yeah.
Frank. Oh, yeah, Frankie. Yeah,
Frankie, Prodigal. Yeah, so we was in a rap group. That's funny. He gonna hit you up when he said
he's gonna grind my gears. My bad, bro. You know I love you, bro. I'm a little older. He said it.
A little bit. So I remember you perform. I forget the name of y'all group.
Krew Clan.
Krew Clan.
Cousins running east to west, crazy looked ass niggas.
Okay. Because you was in a group and with Udall.
Big U.
Big U. Big U, he was like one of the illest spitters in me. He went ham. Like how everybody looks at Big Life now.
Whip him up. He was big. He was like Biggie, but he was a street Biggie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he passed, that was rough. Man, rest with God, bro. But so that was my first memory. And then Frank would always say, I didn't even know your name or nothing about you at the time. But Frank would always say, whenever we talk about freestyle, he'd be like, oh man, Scrap would chew you in the freestyle session. I'm like, who the hell is Scrap? What are you talking about?
Right.
To me, Frank was the illest freestyler. And when I would tell him, bro, you could do this, you could freestyle. He's like, no, Scrap it. Chew me. Scrap, all day. I'm like, what the hell? So eventually, like we said, we've known each other for years. All these run-ins, coming across each other, and both of us being in, you know, the local Pittsburgh hip hop scene, we've just have been around each other, you know. So through your whole run with what can I think of? Proud to Be Local, Pittsburgh Hip Hop Awards, Stuff the Bus, Toy Bus giveaway, giveaway for Christmas, this Scrap Claus. Like, I've been around to see all of it, all of the coaching stuff, which we'll get into everything.
Correct.
A little bit at a time or whatever. I just wanted to give the audience a little intro, you know, to understand that, man, this man has literally been, I mean, just all over, hustles, grinding, doing it, record label, just everything, right? So where I want to start off at, one thing I want to touch on, the time you fell asleep on the stage.
That was
me.
Who was here that day? That was a main performer.
It was me.
And who else? Who did you bring?
It was just me.
That's it?
Yeah. I was literally the highlight performance.
Oh yeah, that is right. You was the headliner.
Yeah.
Yeah, you was the headliner.
We was at I don't know if it was either Mosaic or Heat, whatever the name was.
Yeah, I said Ludic.
The one with the stripper poles and stuff. Yeah. And
I was tired as fuck.
I want to say there was other performances, and other performances, it was cool. You went up there for something. You was talking to somebody on the couch, like in between shows or whatever. So I got up to perform, and I turned around, and I didn't realize you was asleep. I was like, "Yo, what is Scrap doing over there?" I'm like, I don't think nothing of it. So the DJ threw on the music. I saw the spit. I turned around, and you was like slumped, like out of it. And I'm like, yeah, he knocked out. And then it crossed my mind, because the way it was literally a couch in back of the stage. So like the whole crowd could see everything going on. And I'm like, if I stop right now to like go wake them up, it's like literally stopping my show. It'll probably be embarrassing for both of us. Yeah, probably look more like it's a part of the show if I leave him there. So I was like, fuck it. Just go ahead and sleep.
You know what's crazy? Like this is a thing. Like I go to sleep because like we was on the road all the time. Yeah. And we was just doing so much. So like at every given moment, like you put me on a couch, bro. It wasn't even really like me. It was just like my body settles down. Like it was just like settled down. So just to piggyback off that, bro, we're in Miami. I get kicked out the club because I fell asleep in the VIP. I'm knocked out. Dudes like, get your meds. You can't be sleeping in the VIP. I said, bro, you be waking me up in my sleep, bro. He's like, you cannot be sleeping in the club, bro. I'm like, man, I'm tired. Like, but I just anywhere I go, bro. If I'm tired, I'm going to sleep. People like, how the fuck just go to sleep? Because I'm tired, bro. I'm tired and I'm going to sleep.
That was the thing. That I don't know if it's still the same way. I know back then though, the idea of sleeping 8 hours was like you don't do that.
You get it in when you can, because you're gonna be. There's a time where I had to stay. You got to stay on your feet. Yeah. Like if you get off your feet, your body settles. Like I ain't do drugs and all that shit. Like motherfuckers, I used to wonder how people be like, how you up with all this energy? Like, man, we've been up for 24 hours. I'm fading. Yeah. You know what I mean? So the moment I sit down, I'm like, because now I probably don't smoke at the time, probably like ounce of weed or something. You know what I mean? I was tired. I was burnt. I mean, and when like the music for us, when I was a kid, younger, it was like, it was real. It wasn't something that like we didn't just pick up and do every now and then. No, we were in the studio or we was creating 24/7. Yeah. It's just like nonstop. People like, do y'all sleep? We're like, no.
Yeah, it was a thing for us. Like that's a spot maybe I was talking to. The idea was, I mean, first of all, in order for you to make it back then, it was like 1 in a million, like literally. And even though it's kind of that way now, it's
your chances are higher because you have more opportunities and outlets and resources.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Back then it was like you gotta accidentally come across somebody or something. Especially in Pittsburgh, we ain't have
nothing.
Like Mailman and all them dudes. It wasn't like he was just coming around handing out deals to people.
And they was just getting their feet wet. You know what I mean? So they were just getting started. They were just learning how to do things. So
and navigate, yeah.
And to me, I never really thought that they were, and I just think my history shows this too, that I never really seen them as ahead. I always see myself as right there, like I was match for match. You know what I mean? Like, okay, Mailman and them had their music and the Mailman and stuff like that. But then when we are in hometown and like in where I'm from, like Penn Hills and stuff, and further and like out in Greensburg and Vandergrift and Apollo, all these places, they're loving us. Like, these dudes are superstars and they're gangsters. Like, what is going on here? Yeah. So we always felt like we're going on. I just got back from Detroit. I just was performing. I just went to New Orleans. I just did all of this stuff. And it's like, these guys ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, we just get money, rapping, all that stuff. So it was like people in Pittsburgh didn't really respect. They were blinded. They didn't understand, like, bro, we're really rappers, bro. Like, we don't go to work.
Like, actually already had the career.
Yeah. Like, we didn't have we might not have had what y'all expected us to have because we didn't have the money. You know what I'm saying? But back then, to be from a street in the middle of Homewood and Penn Hills that we couldn't identify where we were from, to have white people singing our music and loving our shit out in Greensburg and freaking Apollo and Vandergrifts and Penn Hills and the hood. You know what I mean?
That was a thing back then too. It was much easier to get the suburbs, like as fans. Like if you pull up to like a high school, I've seen so many times somebody pull up to either my school or a different one, pop the trunk, T-shirt, CDs, just give it away instantly. Like you like a celebrity.
But this is where I always said about Pittsburgh, and the support system. I just told Tony Pittsburgh this. Actually, I was talking to him. I messaged him. It's probably 4 in the morning. I don't be caring. Whatever. Get the message later. You might be up, whatever. But if it's on my mind, I'm going to send it to you. I don't care. If your girlfriend gets mad, just show her it was me. You know what I mean? Whatever. Because it's important. Right. So I feel like, I called him early as heck. And he answered. And when I'm talking to him, my first thing I said to him, I was like, you definitely don't sound like the energetic guy that you usually are. He's like, bro, it's like 5 in the morning. I'm like, well, I saw him say, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm breaking down to him. I said, you're doing it wrong. And you're following a Pittsburgh trend that you may not believe it, but I'm telling you what works. And I've been there. And we were all there, but we were not paying attention to it. You're trying to sell music to people who have responsibilities.
Right.
You're trying to have shows and events Monday through Thursday to people that have responsibilities. When you go to a bar, lounge, or club to try to sell music, most of the time we're not there for that. If you want music, you go to a music store.
Right.
You can't try to force music on somebody that's there to drink. They're not going to.
All right, hold off on that for a second.
Okay.
I'm gonna write that down so we don't lose that.
All right.
We're gonna call that music biz and demographic fits.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's rewind for a bit.
All right.
So we can start official for the audience that don't know you.
All right.
Where'd you get the name Scrap from?
I can fight, bro. You know, it's just that simple. It's like, you know, you could just add it to you could just watch Scooby-Doo and the story will tell itself. You know, he's a little guy. When it's time to go, it's time to leave. It's let me at him. No, it's cool. I got it. Y'all sit back here. It's like, yo, it's time to go. Get off me. Let me at him. I got this. So it was always that.
So it was like somebody called you that? Like,
yeah, it just grew. It just Scrap went from Johnny to Scrappy. You know what I mean? And then from Scrappy, it was Johnny. Like I was just little Johnny my whole life because of my dad. And then it was Rage. You know, that was my rap name. And then, but my rap name was Rage, but people just always called me Scrappy and Scrap. So I just was like, just call me Scrap. When I turned it into Mr. Scrap as I got older, add the Mr. You know, I used to be Scrap Loke, knock the Loke off at the Mr. because I grew up a little bit. You know what I mean? So the Scrap came from just fighting and like when I believed in it so much. Once I embraced the title. You know what I mean? It felt like since you call me that, every time it just seems like I have to fight all the time. You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm the fighter. Like,
right.
So, and there was never no size differential. Like, there was always like, I ain't fighting nobody my size because I didn't feel like the last couple times I fought somebody my size, it was the easiest fights ever. You know what I mean? They were simple. So I just always was like, you know, I could fight. And then I ended up fighting. When I say we fought where I come from, bro, all we did was fight.
Penn Hills, right?
Yeah. All we did was fight, bro. And my dad was a boxer, and he never allowed us to box, but he trained us to box.
Okay.
Because he didn't want us I wanted to be a boxer. My dad was like, I don't want you to be a boxer because my dad knew what a boxer goes through.
Right.
My dad still goes through it. You know what I mean? I'm punches in the head, you know what I mean? All that other
Concussions,
stuff. All that stuff. Just the trauma and just the, you know, there's a lot with it that people don't add in, you know, and like my dad, he stuttered a little bit when he talked and, you know, it's just something he didn't want us to do. But he always taught us how to, like we got busy, like we were in the gym, like we were training for fight. And I always just be like, you know, I used to always dream to fight a boxer. Like, the only person who's ever gonna beat me is probably a boxer or something. And I love wrestling, like beyond anything. I love wrestling.
Like professional wrestling or like WWE?
WWF wrestling. You know what I mean? But I was always one to know that people would just be like, wrestling's fake. And I'd be like, no, it's not. And they would just be like, yes, it is. I'd be like, bro, no, it's not. The outcome is fake. But the moment I put you in this figure for a leg lock, I'll break your fibula. Clean in half. And they're like, whatever, bro. Okay, well, all right, but let me put you in it. And I put people, we had like, you know what I mean? So I just love fighting, bro. We had a wrestling league when we were younger, like a real wrestling league. We had belts and everything. Crumb was on my team. We were 4 horsemen.
For real?
Yeah.
How old was you?
We was in elementary school, so it was probably like 5th, 6th grade.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? And
Crumb gave me my first deal.
I had all the belts.
For beating everybody.
Everybody. I had the Intercontinental belt, had the US belt, had the World Champion belt. Me and Marquez had the tag team belt, and me, Crumb, and Marquez had the triple championship belt. And then we had a boxing league, and I was the champion because I knocked people out. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was knocking people out. It wasn't like, oh, he can fight. No, I was knocking them out. Bing, 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 bing.
So
that's where Scrap came from.
That tell me
crazy.
Sheds a lot of insight actually on who Scrap is for me. Like this person, this friend that I've known for this long. I never knew that. It's the first time hearing this story. That's crazy though. Okay, so shift gears a little bit. This story that before we turn on the camera, you're telling me about you had the SQ2 first.
Yeah.
And you thought that you sold it to Spuck, right?
Right.
But that opens up another conversation of, I know that, like consciously, I know that you had equipment.
Right.
but I've never known you to be a producer.
Mm-hmm.
So like the idea of, oh, Scrap made that beat, or yeah, you know, somebody rocking, oh yeah, you know, Scrap was on there playing keys. I've never heard anything like that ever. Were you ever a producer? Like, did you make beats?
I made all the beats for my rap group. Made every
And
beat.
that was for Krew Clan.
Yeah, I made all the beats. And then Big U came in a little bit. Sometimes we hit the keys up a little bit with his stubby fingers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I always noticed that stubby fingers dudes like to play the piano, but it's like, it's kind of hard to get to them keys with them little stubby fingers, bro. But they always good. Like Fizz, Keith, all of them, they all really, really good at this stuff. But you know what I mean? I used to always notice that, like, damn. But yeah, I used to make, so there's no, when it comes to me in music, bro, I had to do it all.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to do it all.
Right.
You know, because I really was the one that wanted to be it.
Mm.
I was pushing the guys to be it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was pushing the guys to be it. So a lot of the times, you know, they sleep doing what they do. Like my brothers and my homies was outside. We was outside.
Right.
But I had a little bit more distractions.
Right.
You know what I mean? I had football, I had music, but I was Kobe Bryant mentality, bro.
Right.
I was 5 in the 4, 5 in the morning, up in the morning. My dad, everybody like, what the fuck is that noise? It's me. I'm making beats. Like before I even had a drum machine or couldn't make beats, I made pause tapes and shit because we couldn't afford beats.
What's a pause tape?
A pause tape is when like we had a lot of music. Like you get a tape, cassette, Ice Cube, whatever. And you know, back in the day, when the song plays out, there's about probably like 4 bars of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It just played. And it faded out. You know what I mean? So I literally would have one recorder here, play it, pause it, rewind it, play it, you know what I mean? Record it, rewind it, play it, record it, rewind it, play it, record it until it was like 16 bars.
Bro, I did the same thing. I didn't do it to rap on beats though. I used to take songs and mix them together.
Okay.
So I would take one song and play like 4 or 8 bars, pause it, then take a different song. And like the music would change, but the words like was actually saying something when you listen to the whole thing all the way through.
Kind of like Bumblebee talking.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
so,
crazy.
That's what we did. So then, now we didn't have no equipment. So we like, damn, how we gonna record? So I was always smart, bro. My brain was always just something that just was like, people wouldn't believe how a lot of the equipment that I got. Like a lot of my equipment came from other people's junk. You know what I'm saying? Like we go to the studio and I'd be like, what's wrong with that? And they'd be like, I don't know, it just don't work. I'm like, well, can I have it? I take it home, take it apart, look at it, stare enough and be like, this wire's loose. Go get my dad's solder gun and put it on there and plug it in and be like, oh, shit. I got a $500 keyboard. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like all that type of stuff. So it was like, I always was thinking. So once we made, this is how we made our songs. We made the pause tape first. So then now we got it playing. It play about 16 bars. We play it in here. We got a microphone taped to the speaker and a whole nother radio. So it's playing out the speaker, the beat, and we're on the other side of the mic rapping and it's recording. That's how we made our first song.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we started recording a whole bunch of them and passing around the neighborhood. You know what I mean? People right. This is hard. We ended up, I don't know where we got them from, but they were just white label tapes. You know what I mean? And we was recording on them. Where did we get them from? I want to say PA Video up in East Hills. I think that's where we got them from. And we just started like writing on them and making tapes and just going to school with them. And you know what I mean? But I started from there and I made all the beats. But I love my dad, my mom, my family. My dad threw cabarets. My mom did fashion shows and I was always into music. My mom and dad loved to dance. So we had records. We had records, bro. Like my dad listened to everything from Kenny G to Our House in the Middle of the Street to Kenny Rogers to Dolly Parton, all of it. You know what I mean? So it was like, I love music. So I knew how to make a beat. I could start beatboxing. But I love doing the shit. So that's how it started, for real.
What happened with Krew Clan?
Nothing really. Honestly, like, there was too many of us. That was like Wu-Tang time.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of us. And we really didn't really, like, me, I'll say there was a lot of us, bro. Me, my brother Mad Mun, my little brother Craze, Big U, Earthworm, E, D. That was pretty much the main rappers. Hollywood. You know what I'm saying?
Holly was in Krew Clan?
Pocahontas, that was her name.
Huh.
She was her first, she started with us. Like, she grew up with us. I mean, she spit her first rap to me. And she was like, I got this hard rap. And I just was kind of like, what the fuck? Like, whatever, dude. Like, huh?
Wow.
You're not rapping. She spit that shit. I was like, whoa, you're hard, cuz. Like, whoa.
That's crazy. I don't think I even heard of Holly until it was like mid 2010.
She went by Pocahontas at the time.
I may have seen that name
when
somewhere.
she was with us. We was all Scrap Loke, Mad Mun, Craze Loke, Pocahontas. Everybody we was banged out. You know what I mean? So our music it wasn't for everybody.
So when did that end around?
99.
Can you think of like the exact reason that ended it?
Well, yeah, a lot. I know why it ended. Like, I was there. Like, it was 1999, we went to New Orleans. Best trip ever, man. Like, the biggest sacrifice trip ever. Like, there was 5 of us. We went to Geo. We drove, went the wrong way, got lost, got caught in a flood. Met Young Z of the Beat Nuts. Ended up, he needed a ride. He ended up in our car. We smoked with him. We have a flow session with him. We get tickets to go see him. This is when Eminem wasn't even Eminem yet. Slim Shady, House of Blues, all types of shit. Like, bro, we was coming back from there. We was on 1 tank of gas, and I'm flying, bro, going like probably 100 something. They're like, why are you going so fast? I'm like, because if we run out of gas, we can drift. I said, we can just drift. I'm flying, bro. We'll be able to get as far as we can drifting. And that was scientifically true. You know what I mean? Wow. We never ran out of gas, though. But once we got back, bro, like, some people went without money. You know what I'm saying? And I had to spend money that, like, my little brother, me and my brother, my brother just got out of jail 20 years. He just got out of jail, and we just had this conversation. At the time, my little brother was younger. He didn't have no money, so he wasn't my worry. I said, don't worry about it. You my little brother. Everybody else, I don't give a fuck. Like, my other brother said he had some money, but he had less money than what he said he had.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when we get there and all the other stuff, it's like, I fucking want me to feed them. Me and Amber is the only ones with money. And I'm like, I'm not feeding y'all. So my little brother's kind of thinking I'm talking to him. I'm like, you don't include yourself in this. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I ended up buying some oodles and noodles and some bread
right.
and brought it to the hotel. And everybody's like, what the fuck are we going to do with this? Like, I'm like, it's a fucking coffee pot. Like, cook it in a coffee pot. So we all like bumped heads, bro. It was like we had a good show. Put on a good show down there for, I told the same story on the Marley podcast. You know what I mean? We bump heads, but we did the show. There was so much that went on that it was getting Hollywood. It was getting real Hollywood. It was just like, so for me, at a time I would have said I was on my Diddy shit. But I wasn't on my Diddy shit according to the Diddy that there is now. So I'm gonna say Suge Knight.
Okay.
But then it's hard to say Suge Knight because I wasn't that aggressive. But I was just on some scrap shit. You know what I mean? But if you put the two of them together, that's kind of what I was on, because me and Holly we had to record a song. We had to perform a song that we never recorded.
Well, that was normal though. Back then it was.
Yeah, it was cool, but we never
bro, we just wrote it. Like we had the beat. So we didn't have no ad libs. We didn't have those certain things that, that we always felt that like gives you that break.
I see what you're saying.
So like when we always rehearse and stuff and we always prepared. So like there would be some certain things in the verse. Like I didn't rap over my lyrics, but there would be a time where there might be 3 bars that come in because I needed that breath.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then my hook person, my hype person would also jump in, but you would hear it, but I needed that breath. But then it would go back to silence. So just those things wasn't there. And I brought the 4-track and everything, the mic, and we were supposed to record in the bathroom. But she ended up hanging with Young Z and them and never fucking came.
Wow.
But again, like I said in the other podcast, I said, it was worth it because she ended up, making some resources out of it. And we was able to get, a little further in life from it, and it was helpful. So, it was a good time. So once we got back, we went back outside. And once we went outside, my little brother went to jail. My other brother went to jail. Holly went off to college. That's where, she went off to college. She got her bachelor's and then she went on to get her doctorate, like she master's, doctor. Like Holly just excelled.
Right.
You know what I mean? And me, I was still here. You know what I'm saying? But my goal was, this never was everybody's goal, it was mine.
Right.
So I just was like, okay, here I go. I'm gonna start doing these shows, start rapping, start just doing more for myself. I started doing all the freestyle competitions, freestyle battles, freestyle competition. I really didn't write much music, but when people wanted to do songs, I would just go into the studio, drop something, people like, you didn't write that? I'm like, no, I'm never gonna write a rap, ever. I'm never writing a rap. And when I did write raps, when I delivered them, I'm like, I don't like them. They give me a reading delivery. You know what I mean? And I learned to be stubborn enough to realize how good I was. You know what I mean? So I got into a studio, my first big studio, and the guy was like, and I was like, I don't do that, bro. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, bro, I'm gonna do something you probably never seen before. Can you just turn the beat on and then I'll rap it and then I'll come back tomorrow because I'll go home and I'll rewrite it. So wherever I fumbled, I messed up, whatever words I could have I put another word in that makes more sense. I checked the thesaurus, do all the things and just make it make sense and just, make it a composition basically.
Right.
And make it right. And then come back, then re-record it because I knew what type of energy to give it.
Right.
And how many words I wanted to, how I could cram certain words up into one little bar versus writing and I'm already here in my brain, but my pencil's still on the first line. And then when I get to that second line, I'm like, what the fuck did I say? And I just, even in school, like my dad, I didn't do well. I had to take a recorder, put it down, hit record. I'd be sitting there in class paying attention, but I really didn't get the best of it till I took it home, went home, played it back, and listened to what they were saying. Like, oh, okay. I was more audio than visual because I'm this. Like, fuck was that? Who's that? What are you doing? Stop playing with yourself. Like, bro, quit touching yourself. Like, bro, that was me. Like, but you got ADHD. I don't got ADHD. I'm just paying attention. This nigga keep moving. I don't know what he gonna do. He keeps standing up. He's scratching his balls. Like, making sure he don't shake my hand later. I'm just paying attention. You know what I mean? So
right.
That's how it just came to be a freestyler. So then I just read shit. Like somebody gave me a rhyming dictionary. And I read it. I read a lot. And they got a bunch of words in it that rhyme with words to rhyme, with words with rhymes and words to rhyme. So then I read the dictionary and I read the encyclopedia, A to Z. And then I just know how to say, start it over.
Right.
Punch me in, put this in. I'm gonna say this, move that. And then once technology came in, I was mad as heck. I was like, y'all gonna come now? When I'm basically like, everybody's gonna tell me I'm too old to be rapping, So
yeah, that's the thing.
That's where that's pretty the rundown. Like we fell apart just off that. Just one day, nobody had no money, And then we came back and had to get back to the money.
And everybody just kind of
Went back to the money, trying to get the money. And then it just, some got in trouble, you know, and then thank God that I was able to stay in tune with the music and keep the pulse of it, because, like, you know, it saved my life. You know what I'm saying?
I think, I don't know what you had between there. The first time I heard about your record label, I was working with an artist. Her name was Kara.
Yeah, the singer.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what she went by. It was something else. I can't remember. But she was like a trained opera singer.
Yeah, what's her name? Kara K, right?
Yeah, I think.
Something like that. Yeah.
But we was close. She so
really nice smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kara.
I may have met her on MySpace, maybe. Matter of fact, she's on my TikTok now, so she probably won't see this. But I may have met her on MySpace. I started working with her, and then she brought it up to me like, oh, yeah, I used to work with Scrap, Statement Records, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Statement Records? What's that? Like, I knew you,
yeah.
And I'm like, what is that? And then over the years since then, at least till, I don't know, mid-2010s, teen, somewhere around there, it was, you know, Statement Record events here and there. And, you know, I'm hearing about the artists doing this and that. And then I didn't hear much about it no more.
Mm-hmm.
So I can already assume, you know, you, Mista Scrap, super ambitious, how you may have transitioned in the statement. What happened to it?
Well, again, for me, it's nothing to pull a plug.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And when you offer people all these different opportunities and, you know, you start to come to reality. You know, I had artists who would have and could have made it further than but there was no patience behind it. And this will go into like Pittsburgh hip hop in general.
Mm-hmm.
There was no patience behind it.
What you mean by patience?
You gotta wait. You gotta work. It's not gonna come overnight. There's gonna be days where you get nothing. You're gonna put on the biggest show of your life in front of the biggest crowd of people for nothing, but for growth. You know what I mean? You gotta learn that some of these things are just sacrifices that are part of gaining the popularity and being patient. And especially when you're not paying for anything. And you're an artist where if you would just trust the process, you know, I had a lot of my artists to try to get them to understand that to be a part of Statement Records, I don't want you to work. I want you to have a job. I want you to be in the studio as much as you can for as free as you can. I want you to write out how you want your videos to go. I want you to take all the photos possible. I want you to do interviews. We had everything for you. We had the studio, we had the audio, we had the green screen, we had the photography, we had everything that you needed to be as an artist, cameras, everything to be as an artist. We had producers, we had engineers. So I provided all of that and big shows, never nothing small, always a big show, big opening and things. So it's like, I need you to dedicate. If you can't dedicate, then you have to be patient.
Were you paying them like a per diem or?
No, only well, here's how the deal was. The deal was basically, you know, you pay nothing. And when you make your music, once they produce their albums, so say like Kiki, she produced her albums, I gave her 100% sales, every bit of it. I mean, I was okay at the time. Like, I was financially okay. So once I paid for everything, you know what I mean? So once we were new.
Mm-hmm.
It was a new thing. So as we were growing, it's like, I'm new at all of this at the same time. So when I start talking to lawyers and stuff, I started making sure they got their publishing, doing all the things they were supposed to do so where they could make their money. I mean, my offering was, our contract was signed off on all of this. It was more of everything it wasn't a money contract. It was more of what we provided contract. Like they didn't have to pay for nothing.
So where did you make your money at as a company?
I made my money promoting the shows and promoting the events. You know what I mean?
So could you consider that a record label, really?
So this is at the beginning. So this is how I had to get my funding. You know, as I was starting to get my funding, I ended up getting investors later. And then I was able to take the label and get it an LLC. And then I was able to take an artist, which was Kiki at the time, and push an artist. And everybody else had to realize same thing. Like, we're pushing an artist that is contracted. And there was a lot of I'm not going to call it jealousy, but there was just a lot of what about me? What about me? And it's like, I don't have the freaking money to do everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? But everything else is still here. You know, like so a lot of those guys didn't even have to sign in on a contract to even use the shit. You know what I'm saying? I was just, at the time, I was wet behind the ears. But I knew with Kiki, we had everything right. You know what I mean? Everything right. So
Kiki, who was that?
Kiki Lyrics. She was a young female artist that won a couple contests for Hollywood and some other, she could rap her ass off. And she was like 17. And I was like, yo, she's fucking hard. And I was just like, I'm going to get behind her, because my thing always been, I didn't want no older rappers, man. It was always about the youth, because if I was going to have an older rapper, I was going to rap my damn self. I mean, there's no point in me going out here trying to find another rapper in their 30s, 25, 30 years old, when I felt and I proved that I was just as good, if not better than them. You know what I mean? So it was like, so I had to, we pushed it, but people have their own objectives. You know what I mean? Their own, you know, and it became, for us, me and her, we didn't fall out, but the music went a different direction. You know what I mean? The hair came off. You know what I mean? The music went a different direction. And when the support changed, it was a lot of, nobody supports me a little bit, you know, and like just a lot of almost wanting to give up on it. The passion was a little bit different.
For you?
No, for the artist.
Okay.
Because the direction they went wasn't for everybody. So I was always on like, hey, you're trying to force something crooked. You're trying to force something going right into something that's straight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you need to just worry about pushing all your stuff to the right. Don't worry about what's going straight. Because straight is not going to buy. Straight is going to resist. Straight is going to not buy it. They don't want those visuals when you rap them. So you got to go over here where there's a target market for you.
Right.
Your old fans, some of them who loved you for what you were spitting, they're not visually okay with where you came out and went to. You know what I mean? So there is a group for you, and there's events, there's specific events that you can involve yourself in, instead of keep trying to hit these ones that are on your straight path when you need to be over here on the right. You know what I'm saying? And it just became that, and we had to go different ways, because I was more so on, I'm willing to go help you and sit in the right when I'm part of the straight. You know what I mean? I'm willing to go be over here and put myself in an uncomfort because I don't know what the right is going to think of me. I don't know what the straight is going to think over here.
When you say straight and right, are you talking like hip hop and pop, or like?
I'm talking straight and right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to, I'm talking pride.
Okay, I understand.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I felt as though when they went right, I didn't want to say left because left seems so wrong. When you go left, you go the wrong way. So it's when you go right, it's you can't go wrong going right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you go right, she went right. So when she went right,
I get it. So her demographic was kind of felt some type of way.
Yeah, and then you know, like, and when you're hearing your artist, and then you hear somebody say, like being a male artist, and you hear her say she got a girlfriend, you're like, what's this happening? You get the Frank Ocean effect real quick. It's like, damn. Some people,
to an extent, though,
not everybody, but it's to an extent. From your perspective.
Well, no.
But
business-wise, I feel like it's almost like a ratio dependent upon how much star quality you have in terms of like how good the music is.
The content has to be unvisual. It has to be neutral content where you don't see it as, you know. Like,
what I would argue,
you can't name a song. Before we argue, I want you to think about it. Before we even get into an argue, I want you to think of a song that puts you or raps about or sings about.
To the hip hop community or pop?
Any community that is in detail of it to where you're singing it.
So I would say, not me personally singing it, but I know people to sing it. Lil Nas X's second song, Montero or some shit? The one where he's like twerking on the devil?
I don't know.
It's a huge pop song, or was at one point in time. Because Lil Nas X, he's the one that came out with that Old Town Road.
Yeah, right.
He came out with that. And then, you know, maybe a few singles after that or whatever. And then he released this song, which a lot of shock value. He's like, he himself is on a stripper pole, twerking on the devil, all this crazy stuff. And it caused all this crazy uproar.
Yeah.
Like, why are y'all accepting this? Why are we watching this? What is he doing? This dude is crazy. It hit all the numbers. And a little bit of it hit all the numbers because of shock value. But the song itself sounded good. I mean,
I could almost say that in that the LGBT and he didn't push it to the straight. It wasn't his market that he went for. He went right.
No,
he's twerking.
Yeah, but that was the problem. See,
but he was already. See, Old Town Road wasn't.
This is what I'm saying. So when he first came out,
right,
it was no, I'm straight, I'm normal. Like he never said it,
right? But his music presented that,
right?
The visual.
As time went on, I think he said it, or there was a rumor or something like that at some point that, you know.
But does he say anywhere in his verse about humping a guy?
In the actual lyrics of the song?
Yeah. Like doing it to a guy, kissing a guy, taking this guy out. You know what I mean?
He insinuates and there's like analogies and stuff.
But it could be, you can visual it with your woman though, still. Things that could
No.
I never heard it. I don't know if I heard the song though.
I don't know how to explain it. Like,
because there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it, but I just always feel like,
I mean,
if she would have pushed more towards the LGBT community.
It depends on what year it was.
It was so it's like 12 years ago, 10 years ago. It was big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would say
I just feel like that was where she would have flourished. She would have. She was good. She's a hell of a rapper. I just know that like they would have. We should have did more of those events than these events because these people are judgmental. You're gonna get more judgment this way than over here. Your talent is gonna help you more over here.
So
plus that's your target market. That's your market. They understand what it is you're saying completely.
Was your fallout or whatever based on that disagreement? Like I say this, you say that.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't really fallout. It's just that when an artist starts to, they want to tend to go do their own thing, and it's like, okay, go do your own thing, and I'm always here to help. Like to this day, I'm still here to help. But we all, it wasn't a fallout. It was just, once what I felt was one of the best artists I had and the biggest shot of getting the push and everything, I was burnt out. And then I just was like, you know what? I don't have to do this.
The question I want to...
And then I just pulled the plug on Statement Records and was like, I don't want to record nobody. I don't want to do nothing with the artist or anything. We got through her... we got through everything. Everybody got their albums out. Everybody got their albums, and then I was just like, guys, I'm closing the studio.
So what I want to find out specifically, and maybe you can help me with this, and this is like a general, we'll say Pittsburgh hip hop, which I'm sure it occurs in other places, right? Mm-hmm. Is we have this separation, this division of too many chiefs, not enough Indians, where everyone has or wants, their own thing. They want to accomplish the win and pursue their craft as they see fit. And there's this idea of, I want to do it how I want to do it. And if you don't want to do it how I want to do it, then I'm going to go this way. So what I found based on how I'm interviewing everyone at this table, literally everyone that sits at this table is like, man, I just want to do what I want to do. And I'm asking the same question to generate the conversation of, how do we all come together and form the Avenger team?
I honestly always keep it real and say we can't. Because for my perspective is, I believe is different than most.
Okay.
Because I've never discriminated to not work with any of them. Mm-hmm. I've always worked with everybody.
Yeah, to my knowledge, yeah.
Like everybody.
Right.
And I always was into trying to bring everybody together. But people aren't willing to, not patient enough. That patience and take order. Some people can't take order.
You mean order like organization order, or like take orders like directives?
They can't take authority.
Authority.
And people have roles to play. Some people have grown into a position where they deserve that authority. That authority is something that you should grant them because of the stature and the things that they accomplished and the rollover and the things that they've done. Some of the people that want the shit, you start looking at their numbers and you start remembering where they were and their history and how it is still, and you're like, why would I give you authority over me? You're not even.
So
you have no growth yet.
This goes back to the question I just asked, where, put it this way, right? Me, from my own experience, I went from, same as you, making little tapes or whatever, selling tapes in Stedford's, selling tapes out the trunk, went to Atlanta, produced for, celebrities, working in studios and stuff, came back, had my record label, all different types of stuff. Now at this age, I personally feel like I have the authority. I feel like based on my resume, my experience, knowledge, going to school, all of this stuff, that if I was going to run a team or something like that, if I was going to start a record label or work with somebody, my resume should speak volumes against someone that does not have that same track record, right?
Right.
What happens when I'm sitting in a room with someone that did some stuff, let's say only in Pittsburgh,
Mm-hmm.
that, the most that they've done, maybe, let's just create a hypothetical person that had as much fame as like the government, in Pittsburgh,
Right.
but only in Pittsburgh and didn't do anything else. And, they threw shows and had hit songs in the city, never any deals or work with any major companies, no brand deals, no tours, nothing like that. We get together and we're working on, say, a joint project, and they won't take directives from me because they feel like they have a strong resume as well.
Mhm.
Like in that position, who wins? Who's the chief? Because from what I see and what I understand, like
The one who did the one who
and who judges
the
that?
chief, for me, the chief is the demander. Like
The one who takes the position?
the one who takes, like, if that's the case, it's like, okay, so all right, well, I'm gonna take the fucking job and I'm gonna do it.
And
And-
that's
and
usually
while-
why people quit,
While
right?
I do it, okay, while I do it, I'm still gonna need you. But if you're not, it's coming down to who we are now. Because on paper we're the same.
Mhm.
So now one of us got to be tough. So we're fighting right now. Guess what? I'm a fighter, bro, and I'm taking this shit.
Yeah, but I mean, when you
But
talk
it's
about
for I'm not. What am I supposed to do? I'm not going to surrender it unless I feel as though you can do a better job than me.
that,
If you can do a better job than me, I'll surrender it.
but how do you know or not know?
By what we start getting to work ethic, and we start getting to the things that matter, like really start getting down into it. Like, bro, you smell like weed. I don't. Like, you show up late. You like to party. I don't. Like, this is for real for me. Like, it's not really. It's kind of. It starts falling into the little things about you. You know what I mean? And that's how you usually. If you go to an interview now, if we both going for an interview, we gotta. The people hiring us, they see us the same. They're going to start looking for the other stuff.
Mhm.
Like, that's like being a college kid on a football team. You're the best college football player in the country, but your team don't win.
Mhm.
So they automatically thinking, oh yeah, you got all the stats because your team said. So now, let's see your attitude. You ain't winning no games, but are you picking everybody up?
Right.
Are you a leader? Where's your leadership? Are you pushing other people? So it just comes down to.
So what you're saying, I agree with, but and not but.
But you got to be willing to accept it though. Like, if somebody muscles me out and they showed it, like we fighting for the ball, and then
Yeah.
all I could do is, oh, let me get over here so you can pass me the ball or something.
Right, but that's you. This is the same Scrap that just said I work with everybody.
Right.
Like, if you could beat me, if you can show me and prove that you deserve the job or take it from me, then I guess we're gonna follow your lead. Like, that's what I'm hearing you say,
Yeah, because
right?
it's a position. You
But
know, every I'm a coach. I play sports.
Yeah.
So anytime if the guy starts, anytime if I don't start and he starts,
Mhm.
and he needs a drink of water
Mhm.
and his ankle hurt, my goal is to get in here and never let him back in here again.
right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Everything is competitive. If all that's out the window, if there's one position and two of us, if there's two of us, I'm sorry, bro, but like
we're gonna have to put on the best man wins.
So listen, I agree with you 100%.
Right.
I'm made of the same stuff, the same substance, right?
Right.
Same cloth, cut from. Everyone else ain't.
Right. So lose. You have to be able to accept losing and falling in line.
Well, what happens when your store talent just says, I'm gonna take my ball home?
All right, I'll go buy another one at Walmart, bro. You're not the only person with a ball.
Right. And this is where we get what we have, where it's like, you know, the separation, the division, everything that we complain about in Pittsburgh hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally what we got. When people say, I'm gonna take my ball, my studio, and go over here. Okay, I'm gonna go buy my own Pro Tools and set up, and you know what I mean? And I guess that falls in line with you said we can't.
Everybody can't go.
We can't form an Avengers.
We can't. Almost, it's like, you know, that's almost anywhere. You know, it's like, okay, you're taking your ball and you're going home. So what am I supposed to do? Beg you to not take your ball home? Am I supposed to kiss your ass? Or,
I mean, okay, so
but you're only taking your ball. You're not taking the ball and still playing.
So here's the problem.
You're going home.
Here's the problem.
I'm gonna take the ball off you anyway and stab it. You ain't getting no ball. Go buy a new one with me.
It's a troll, man. All right, listen.
That's really what I'm gonna do. I'm probably run up and smack it dead out your hand. You trying to run with the ball. Like, you gonna be this? That's what I'll probably do. This what you gonna do? You gonna run with the ball, bro? No, nobody gets the ball.
That's horrible.
Let's start over. No, it's not really that horrible when we think about it, because he's leaving. He's breaking, before you start, he's breaking the fact of, okay, there's a position. Okay, I do the little bit extra. We even, bro. We the same. Like they want to see, like who's just a little bit more, and I do that little bit of more, and then you be like, you know what? I'm taking my ball.
No, because you got to think of it like
I'm taking the ball back. No, it ain't your ball,
bro. You got to think of it like you have this take charge. I'm the man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Other people don't always get that, where they're thinking the same thing you're thinking, they just react different. So because you're more of a assertive, maybe at times aggressive personality that's going to be more dominant, like, look, this is what's going on. Someone that's more passive still has the feeling of, I don't trust him with the lead, just like he don't trust me with the lead. But there's nothing I can do about it but try to take my ball back and get it stabbed by the dude that's more aggressive than me.
And that would be my difference in mentality. It's not that I don't trust you with the lead. I just beat you for it. Once we establish that, we have a decision to make. What makes you different? If you're going to ask both of us this question, mm-hmm. You guys have hit the finish line dead even. What are you going to do to show that? What makes you different? And I'm going to say things that make me different. And if I don't, my thing is, if I don't get chosen, I'm not taking the ball and going home, even if it's my ball.
Right.
I'm still going to play. I'm going to follow suit. Like, bro, right. Just pass me the ball. I'll get some points over here.
Right.
But I'm not going to take my ball and go home. I'm just going to accept that, damn, I didn't know you had that in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I fall suit. And that's not what everybody can do. Right. So the moment you go to take your ball home, I'm thinking like, damn, you're just going to take your ball home, bro? I wouldn't have did that. Nobody's going home with a ball. I'm going to take it and I'm going to kick that mouth. Bow! Take it as far as I can. They're going to be like, damn, what you want to fight about it?
You can't play by the hood rules, bro.
You know what I mean? But look, that's what I'm going to do.
Look.
Because you're being... You want me to cater to your ignorance. Everybody's ignorance is different. So you taking your ball and walking home, taking it away from me, is doing just as much damage as me punching you in your face. Because I'm like, damn.
Is it?
Like, yeah, to me, because, bro, we just tried to get a position. Like, we can't be on the same fucking team, bro. Because I get the point guard and you got to be the shooting guard, bro.
I mean, different people feel different ways.
Right, but I'm not built like that. I'm okay. Okay, put me at center. I don't give a fuck. If he's 7 foot tall, bro, I'm going to get some rebounds. I'm back this big dude down. I'm on the team, bro, but you earned it.
Hold on. Let me bring the analogy back around for a second. So this is the main reason why I'm asking. Me, I'm similar to you in the fact that I've done basically everything, whatever needed to be done for the sake of my career when other people wouldn't or weren't able to, right?
Right.
I've had issues where I'm making the beat, I'm rapping, I'm taking the picture. You can see right now, we ain't got no camera, dude. Like, I'm the cameraman while I'm in front of the camera.
Right.
There's moments throughout my entire career where I've had to do everything and I hit a ceiling because I can only do so much.
So much, correct.
Where it's like, if I had I never even thought about working with you, but just in general, hypothetically, if I had a Mista Scrap that was running a label that I was under, bro, you know what I mean? Because I could do so much. If I had, and like I tell Jessica all the time, she's like a clone of me. If I had a clone of me that was like doing the marketing and stuff like that while I'm doing all the creating, if I had someone that was running the company while I'm producing and doing all this stuff, it would be freaking magic. Right. So the whole purpose, I guess, of this is like, how do you work together in that or find that magic to where you're able to work together for everybody, not just me and you?
So,
because me and you come from that, the hood concept of, right, I'll play center if I need to, for the sake of winning. From what I see in Pittsburgh, it's the idea of, if I can't play point guard, I don't want to be on your team.
And that is how it is. But see, like, where I've always learned is just in the industry and just from history, like, there were certain things that I just wasn't doing. You know what I mean? Like, when people, just now, people will message me, hey, I want to be in that show. I'm like, bro, the flyer says send an email. Send an email, because I have an assistant who handles that. You know what I mean? When it came to certain things, I didn't want to do everything. Right. I was not like, it'd be like, bro, if I had to do the camera and had to do all the stuff, I wasn't doing it. Right. It just wouldn't be done. So when everything that, as far as statement records and things like that, I always put somebody in position to be doing something. Whether we had a videographer, always camera on. We had somebody working the social media. You know what I mean? People doing all the talking. To when like, I didn't show up to nothing. I'm good. I sent other faces. You know what I mean? I sent other people to do other things. Right. Because there's positions for people. That's why I went and work with some people who are already leaders. You're already a leader. You need to go build your team. Go build you a team of people that like to do what it is. Go build a team.
This actually connects a conversation I wanted to have with you. I'm starting to understand. I remember you told me a long time ago, maybe it was your dad that told you to never follow.
Never follow.
Never follow. And my response to that, I didn't respond to you, but my response in my mind, because I don't think we were talking, I think it was like texting back and forth or something like that. But what I was thinking was, in order to lead, you have to understand following. Like, that's basically my method of leading, is understanding what a leader is from a different perspective. Right. Like, to be in the role of a follower so that you know how to navigate your followers. So you could feel firsthand and have that humility of, I've been there, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. And then that way, when you have the leadership role, it's not just whips and chains and, cracking people's backs.
But I always had a visual differently, because, when people say get in line, you get in line this way. So that puts somebody behind you.
Right.
But if you stand this way, you're side by side. Every step you take, you lead together.
Right.
Every time you turn around, nobody's behind you.
Nobody's in front of you.
Right.
You're always leading and working together
Right.
versus somebody following. I just was always believed that I need you by my side instead of me being behind you or in front of you.
Right.
We can cover more. We could cover more this way. So as we walking this way, we taking everything out. If we walking this way, we got a lot of space. But if we walking this way, this is all of us, and we could keep going and lead. We don't have to lead no one. We don't have to follow no one.
Right.
We just lead, and whatever follows behind us, we did it together, side by side. We led this together. Nobody was like here, and that's the problem. Nobody wants to be side by side. It's like you have leaders. So I say we'll say I'm gonna say DJ Chevy, and then you got Scrap Wilson. Chevy doesn't need to lead me. I don't need to lead him. We need to walk together. We need to walk side by side.
So you don't think you could? You don't think one of you could lead the other?
We have in the past. Like I feel as though, excuse this mic. I feel as though, I don't know if he may feel this way, but I feel as though I've led Chevy, and Chevy has followed a lot of things. Because me and Chevy's history go back to, I went to Chevy's house. Okay, this is me when I moved into Swissville and everything and all that stuff, and I ended up coaching football and all that stuff. And I can't really remember how I ended up in his house, but I go to his house, and two things I remember: he had all these dogs, and I was like, "Fucking dog! I don't fuck with dogs." But I seen right past him because this dude had motifs and tritons, and I'm like, laying around like they was garbage. I'm like, bro, what are you doing with this stuff? He's like, so I went. So he started playing around, and he wasn't even Chevy at the time. He was RMX, and kind of started hanging with me. You know what I'm saying? And then we started doing the shows, and I just started giving them DJ events. And then he opened Square One, which, when Square One was just nothing, I went in there with him. I helped him paint it. All my rappers helped him paint it. Did a lot of stuff to help him with Square One get put up before it was put up.
The one in Braddock, right?
Braddock, right. So when I see Chevy now, I just be like, I feel like I led that way. And if he feels any other way, I could only say, like, I was Scrap already coming in. He was not known yet, all like that. So, but not a bad thing. But once we connected, we made a good team. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it was always like, who's this dude he's with? And then who's this dude he's with? Yeah. And then he was DJing events, and he always was a DJ. Not saying he wasn't a DJ, but to the local hip hop scene, I feel as though I introduced Chevy more into the local hip hop scene. So I feel like that was somebody that, I could say that, bro, the person I followed was Mark Allen. He owned Cam Studios in Penn Hills, Lincoln Park area. And he was the first one to bring, like, he had a couple artists and stuff, and he had a dope studio. He had this little like a, what do you call it in your backyard? Like them wooden shed. He had one of them sheds, a big shed, but he turned it into a studio. It was dope, bro. And it was just mesmerized. This was one of the guys who actually, when I was like, I don't write raps, that was the first studio I was in. So I follow his lead.
So that's like your OG?
Yeah, that's my OG for sure.
Okay.
Camp Studios, Mark Allen. He's my OG for sure. And I just follow his lead with professionalism, quality. Quality was a thing. He always, everything he did about him, he smelled good, he dressed good, drove good, everything about him. And since then, and I never complained about following. Not following, but I wouldn't call it following. I would say it's somebody I looked up to, somebody I admired. I admire people You know what I mean? I don't follow them, but I admire them. I like, you know, I work hard to make them proud. You know what I'm saying? And I let them know, like, you're one of my favorite people because I ain't fuck with people. Like nobody. It was just my bros, my gang, my woman, and everybody else could get hot. They could catch a hot one if they wanted to. They could get knocked out or catch a hot one. That's what it was where we was from. You know what I'm saying? So I never was a follower, man. You know, like
could Scrap be like, could Scrap work under a Kalaj Dame? If I said,
because
I mean, well,
I've done it. I've accepted roles. This ain't my place. I know my positions though. I know if you ask me to, you're saying I'm not the CEO. Okay, cool. What am I? Well, you're the regional vice president of marketing and okay, cool. That's fine.
Is that like I'm a leader in my own right with this goal that I'm doing?
Yeah, it's just like work.
But it's not. So it's not
supervisor, manager. You know what I mean? Yeah. Supervisor, manager. Okay, I'm a manager, but I still got a staff. You know what I mean? I still got a staff.
So it's not like you got to be the number one HNIC in every. Okay.
No, that's not going to work nowhere.
And I guess that's what I was leading to, because you know, even in the record label, and especially like local ones, you could have somebody that's A&R.
You know, had all right.
Director of this, manager of that, you know, CFO. Like there's
so many ways to branch off, to delegate the responsibilities by position.
But I mean, each one of those still has a leader in that tree.
Right. Because, you know, I always resort to everything to coaching. I wasn't always a head coach. I started from
we're going to get there. I got a ton of questions for that.
You know what I mean? I started from boom, boom, boom. Like you got to climb, you know what I mean? So it was never, I understood that. Even when I played football, I was a freshman, sophomore. By the time I was a sophomore, in my head, I played cornerback and I was good as fuck. And it was like, I'm only on the sidelines because he's a senior. But it was okay. It was fine. All right, cool. Once he's going, I'll get there. It's fine. Patience, bro. Right. It was always patience, but I always knew how to accept leadership if the leadership was leadership. If I felt you could lead, bro, I'm falling back. But if I'm like, bro, every time this dude got to lead, we got to pick him up and help him, then he ain't the man for the job. You know what I mean? He's not a leader. He only can lead certain people. He can't lead the leaders. So maybe he need to change his position. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, like a lot of, like, it's just hard because it be the ones who can't, that don't, when you go to recruit them, you know, it's like, bro, you should come over here and fuck with me. Like, well, I want to do this and do that. But like, I'm like, bro, that's my strength and your weakness. But you got a strength, but you don't want to do that because my title's a little lot higher than yours. Who cares?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you like giving orders, go build a staff under what I just told you to do and give them orders. You know what I mean? It's leadership comes in so many different ways, bro. It's like Pittsburgh is just a place they're closed-minded fast. It's everybody's fault. There's 100 excuses. And when it comes down to the truth, you know, how you a better leader than me and you got work tomorrow? How you gonna lead this record label and you got work tomorrow for somebody else? I don't. I'm coming in here at 7 tomorrow morning and I'm getting right to this record label all day, today, tomorrow. I'm making this my job. Are you willing to stop your job to do this? Well, how am I gonna get money? Sell the money, do the things you gotta do from this label. There's a million things you could do to make money, to prove that you are that leader. And that's where people fall short. It's like, okay, you got to go to work tomorrow for 8 hours. So for 8 hours, somebody wants to know and got all these questions about this label, or somebody wants to give this label $1,000 to do something. You can't even answer the phone because you got working for somebody else.
I agree. Well,
how you going to take a leadership role? How won't you lead? This is my thing. How won't you let somebody lead, but you go work for somebody else?
It depends, though.
They're leading.
Okay, so what I would say, not even using the term leader,
Mhm.
but value. How much value? How much value is someone bringing to the record label? And compare that value to, let's just say, two people. This person A versus person B.
Mm.
What value are they bringing when person B is working for 8 hours? So if person B is so smart, he's so experienced, and he understands the game so much better that the value he brings is magnificent, even with him working for 8 hours for another company, then yes, he deserves to be the leader and take that position from person A.
Mhm.
Where, you might have I don't know, Mark Cuban.
Mm.
Mark Cuban that, maybe a guy with just as much knowledge business-wise that's working an 8-hour job, and, he's starting a company. Ain't nobody gonna tell him, oh, you can't be the owner because you work for 8 hours.
Yeah,
during the
right,
day.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So value-wise, I get it. But then again, if it's somebody that's arguing like, I want to be the leader, but I got to go work at, Big Lots tomorrow or something like that.
I'm looking at them like,
Yeah.
y'all want me to be behind somebody that can't be here? I don't want to do it.
It makes sense.
You know?
I want to skip through a little bit. I want to
Okay.
make sure, at least try to make sure I touch on some of the like really, really important parts of the conversation. I'll explain that later.
I understand. No, I get it all.
No, there was a moment where I wanted to stop and talk to the audience, but no worries. I'm talk to them later. I've run into some issues with people like inboxing me and stuff,
Mhm.
and this is like the perfect opportunity to explain. But after we talk about this, and this one is big again because you and I are from the same community. I'm not from Penn Hills, of course.
Right.
Technically, not even really an East Side guy, even though I was born over there. But Pittsburgh in general, the streets, even though we got separate hoods, throughout town, we came together somehow, and we are all parts of this story of music in Pittsburgh.
Mhm.
First, I guess an intro to a larger conversation. What is it that gives you your pride and proud to be local?
Really, like one day we was Shadow Lounge performing, and James Webb was like, Scrap Loke is proud to be local. And I was just like, I'm keeping that. And then my sister was the one that just was like, I was just telling her, getting a lot of flack from people saying like, why would you be proud to be local when there's so much more? And I'm like, I was talking to my sister about it, and she was like, because people are small-minded. And she said, when you are proud to be local, you treat it as a brand. You don't treat it as a lifestyle. So I was just like, what? She said, take your brand on the road. She said, take somebody from Pittsburgh to another city on a Proud to Be Local tour. And she said, when you get to Miami, or wherever, I told her I would go to Miami. She said, when you get to Miami and realize you're branding Proud to Be Local, but the brand isn't local. You're nationally supporting all the locals. So we went and did shows in Detroit. So we went and did shows in Columbus. We had Proud to Be Locals everywhere because in reality, she said this too, everybody doesn't make it to the big. The local scene is actually bigger than the mainstream.
Right.
So when you
or from Pittsburgh with a proud to be local branded shirt on or something, and you're performing in another city. You're just saying that you're proud to be local because you're performing local. Even in Miami, you're performing for locals. You're not on the big stage, you know what I mean? So it just was something that the brand was perfect. It was marketable across the country.
Mm-hmm.
So then we started we were ahead of ourselves. Me and Hollywood started a proudtobelocal.com, which was a music, we literally was making it a music Facebook. So where artists made profiles, put their music on there, they added friends and all that. We had all of it. Like it was, but
Kind of like before SoundClick came out when it was mp3.com, like that level.
Yeah, it was Facebook.
SoundClick, basically.
Yeah, but music.
Yeah, so
I mean,
when SoundClick first came out, it was mp3.com, but it wasn't like you could post statuses and stuff. For them, it was like forum based. Remember forums?
Yeah.
Where you post a message and then, somebody posts a message after and it shows a whole message thread.
Yeah.
It was like that.
Okay, so like Proud to Be Local was just like Facebook. You create a profile
Mm-hmm.
and you add friends, rappers, DJs, all that stuff. And you had your little profile made. I think you could play like 3 songs on there or something. So like if we were able to financially keep up with certain things and not, if we would have focused more on that instead of the actual Proud to Be Local events,
Mm-hmm.
we would be so far right now. We'd have the app. We'd probably be gazillionaires because local is where it's at. And like I said in Marley's interview, I was always taught to crunch numbers, and when I was in school, high school, we always had to do like in 9th grade, you have to do like a career. You have to pick what career you want going, and then you have to do all the studying and do an essay and do all the work. I picked on a record label. So I wasn't no dumbass. So when I was really like doing the project, I seen the numbers, I seen how much a garbage man made, I seen how much a fast food person made, and I was just like, well, if a fast food person makes $24,000 a year, they say, and they could live off that. My goal as an artist, if I could make $10,000 a month, that's enough for me. I was cool with that. I'm cool with that because that's $120,000 a year.
That's a good point right there that you just made. That so your goal wasn't to be rich?
My goal was to be famous. My goal was more on the popularity because I knew that. That's why I never worked at McDonald's. People like, bro, my dad. People like, bro, like, why don't you get a job? Like, what do I get a job for? I worked at BP. I worked at BP because it was in the hood, but I also worked at BP because I was allowed to do something to make even more money. You know what I mean? So I worked at Foot Locker. Only reason I worked at Foot Locker because I was a rapper and I needed the discount to get all the shoes and the clothes.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I worked at BP because I was able to hustle.
Mm-hmm.
And then I worked at Foot Locker because it came with insurance and the craziest discount. So anytime we had shows or events or anything, all of us, we was straight. We was always good. We'd come up, use my discount, buy some new shoes, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So everything that I did in my life based on how I worked. I wanted to work. I applied at Guitar Center. I applied at pianos and stuff. You know what I mean? So always to put myself in position, like I wasn't doing nothing else because I seen them numbers. And I always was a hustler. And I always knew that $100 a day, if you're an artist, this was what I used to tell my artists. I say, hey, I just ordered you 500 CDs. Here's 500 CDs, right? You go out and sell 10 of these for $10. Don't come home. You leave out of this studio at 8 o'clock in the morning. Don't go home until you made $100 a day. Don't give a damn if it's from 8 to 2 a.m. You make $100 a day. You times that by 30, that's $3,000 a month. Times 12, you're making more than they made at McDonald's.
Is that realistic for everyone?
It's realistic if
But
here's how realistic it is.
Let me
if
rephrase.
you sell drugs, you're gonna push it and you're gonna stay outside and you're gonna be out there every day, cold, doing everything you can. You don't stay in one spot.
Let me rephrase the question for you. Is everyone capable of doing that?
Yeah, everybody's capable of doing anything. You're capable of doing anything if you put the work to it, because now, so there's a different direction, right? You can go this way, that way, this way, that way, that way, but there's an hour away in every direction. You can't sell the CDs in the same spot every day. Go to Cleveland, go to Reading, go to Greensburg, go here, go to the mall here, go over here, change your locations. You're gonna make the $100. Know who you're selling to. Don't go to the club. Don't go to the bar. Go to places where they're already at places where they're spending money.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't come home till you got money in your pocket. If you didn't make no money, then try to make it double tomorrow.
You know what I'm noticing? I'm learning a lot doing this podcast, right? And I've done way more interviews than I've put out so far.
Mm-hmm.
I've interviewed a lot of people that are just natural leaders, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're one of them. I consider myself a natural leader. There's quite a few others. People that are natural leaders tend to have higher intellectual ability, to be able to have better pattern recognition, to understand concepts easier.
Improvise.
We also believe that or look at it as if everyone can do what we do. Where, like, to me, and I believe my wife criticized me for this a few times, but to me, there's nothing to it but just put your mind to it. Sure, it might take you
to it but to do it.
Exactly. Like, it might take you a little bit more time,
Patience.
but if you want it, you can get it. The more I stopped and listened and paid closer attention, the more I realized that is literally the reason why everyone can't do it. It's because since kids, and I'm assuming you're the same way, there's been this constant focus of, if I want this, I'm going to do this. And you know, being a coach, anything you practice, you're going to make perfect. Well, we've been practicing our intellectual ability in solving problems, going out and achieving, accomplishing whatever it is we want to accomplish, fighting, being a leader, being a lion, owning shit, whole entire life, one after another, to where now it's like we masters at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Someone that has never done that, someone that's never been forced to do that, never had to travel the same road, to not consider that and go to them and say, hey, stay outside till you sell 100 of these. I mean, if they desperate, if they starving, they ribs is touching and they ain't got no choice, maybe. But I've seen like similar situations. I've seen similar people, and it's almost as if they just don't have it. Like they're and not saying there's anything bad against them, but they're not machined and practiced enough. You know what I mean?
Then this isn't for you. You can't take a circle and try to force it in a square.
Right.
This is not for you.
Right.
This takes a certain type of thing. This
Right.
takes a certain type of way. And it's just not for you.
Being an artist or the grind and hustle?
To get there. Getting there takes a certain type of push and drive and ethic. And if you can't do those things, you're gonna fall short.
So what if I have the talent to get there?
Talent doesn't do it. Everybody has talent. if talent got you there, we would all make it.
Fortitude.
It's the ethics sometimes. It's the
resilience.
The drive, the things
ambition.
that people notice the small things before they notice the big things. Like you could look at a picture and people be like, "Ooh, man, it'd be a perfect picture." Everybody's looking at it, and then they automatically notice that for some reason they notice that their feet are this big. Meanwhile, they got the best smile in the world.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like
contrast.
Yes. You know, and that's another thing I just was always taught to. Don't look at what's in the picture. They took a picture of that person for a reason. Look at what's going on around the picture, because somebody might ask you a question that you ain't ready for. And then you're going to shock the shit out of them. They'd be like, what color was the yellow? The little dude sitting up top with the hat on, it was yellow. I'd never seen the girl's boobs, bro. Wasn't even paying attention to them. I know what boobs look like. I was seeing what if he had a rifle and was going to shoot her. You know what I mean? But I was always taught that, you know. Yeah. It's just drive is what gets you there.
Right.
What you going, like, honestly, like, okay, you can walk. You'll get there. It'll take longer.
Mm-hmm.
You can run. You'll get there. It'll take longer. You can crawl. You'll get there, it'll take longer. But if you could just stand there and look good, you ain't getting nowhere. You have all the talent in the world, but if you ain't willing to drive, and there's barricades that are gonna get in the way.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take some force. Walking and running into it ain't gonna work.
Those are the people, in my experience, my knowledge, the people that don't have that ambition to drive their own, navigate their own lane. Those are the people that need to bend and do all different types of wild, crazy stuff. You know, the people you hear about, that's like, oh, they took my publishing and, you know,
let them.
Chicks complaining, dude he won't want to work with me because I won't do this and do that. You know what I mean? Like the people that don't own their own career, they don't learn the knowledge and this and that. It's just kind of like you're at the will of everyone.
And then some of those people have to accept, like the problem is with, like, some of the problem that falls into that is some people are that, but they think they're leaders.
Yeah.
Instead of just accepting that somebody's willing to lead you if you understand the role that you're in. Follow me and I got you. You got the talent. You have the talent. Mm. So my job right now is to put you in front of, and my drive is you to get in and me to drive your talent. And you're supposed to, you gotta have some drive. Mm. You gotta have, if it comes to music, so your drive gotta be, bro, he writes all day. He can rap his butt off.
Right.
But there has to be some drive to be driven. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's how I see it. Like if there's no passion behind it and there's no drive behind it, you're just really doing it for the trend. You're not doing it because you want to be it. Mm-hmm. Like I just feel like if you want to be something, if you really, really want to be something, and you wake up every day and you work to be it, the way the mind and body, muscle memory and all that stuff, it all starts to flow. Like everybody can't dance at first, but like if you start dancing, start trying to, you know, working on it, listening to it every day, you might be off beat, but then eventually the more you do it, you're gonna catch the beat. You're like, oh, okay, all right. And then you're just gonna start taking the next step. But like when you start trying to force it, I got talent. I should be able to dance. But you ain't doing nothing to, you don't have no drive. You're giving up. You're when you were a baby, you were driven to walk, like, or you would be crawling still. You would be out of crawling in this mug, like, hey, bro, what's up? There was a drive that you didn't know you had.
That is a very good point. And it takes me back to what you said before, that all of us got talent. And not just in Pittsburgh. Like you hear so often when people say, oh, Pittsburgh is such a talented city. Everywhere is a talented city.
Everywhere is a talented city.
There's talented people everywhere. And that is not justification enough for anyone to win. Talent isn't enough. When we talk about, you know, should somebody get put on, you know, should I make a song with this person, or should this person be signed? Should this person be making $1 million and traveling on tour and all of this? The yardstick, the measuring stick is usually, oh, they're so talented. I don't understand why. And it's almost as if they don't understand talent is not how you measure that.
No, and then there is literally, what people don't understand is there is an it factor that is major. Some people just have it. It's basically like the gift of gab.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got a gift of gab. Like, you have an it factor. There's just something about you that people just draw to you.
Yeah.
Like, your
charisma.
Charisma. Like, and then along charisma
and social
along with talent is a force, bro.
Yeah.
It's a force.
Yeah. I had noticed, like when you was talking about your artists, it reminded me of my artist that I had everywhere I took him. Like, I'd been performing most of my life up to, I don't know, I was in my 20s. I've seen, you know, you perform people, oh yeah, it's dope. You know what I mean?
That was hard. Like, he can rap, but he ain't got it.
There was a kid that I had everywhere I took him. He got standing ovations, people screaming, everybody coming up to me, who is that? What's his name? And you could clearly see a difference. And it was like, that was the moment when I learned like what an it factor was. It's rare.
Some people, look, it overpowers talent.
Yeah.
There's people that just got it and they're not talented at all. They just got it. They know how to just go up in there and basically fool everybody. It's crazy.
I believe it's a mixture of not just what you look like, but your body language, your energy. How often are you smiling?
Your interaction.
What does your voice sound like?
Bro, people don't.
They don't get it?
No. No. Like, we're often, okay, I learned this guru. You know what I'm saying? It's the voice. It's a song. It's the voice. And what's true is people don't put this into hip-hop perspective. They only put it into singing. If a motherfucker's voice, if a person who can't sing, it don't sound good, they be like, he can't sing.
Right.
There's a voice. There's a voice to hip-hop.
Yes.
There's a voice.
Yes.
And some people got talent, but they don't have the voice.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, your voice is never, you're never going to make it because of your voice.
Yeah.
It's like basically saying, bro, you can't sing. You're not hitting the Whitney notes and rap. Your voice don't carry like it's supposed to.
Bro.
Like Jadakiss voice, 50 voice, voice,
rhythm, cadence.
Yes.
Like, just because you have good lyrics does not make you a good rapper.
No.
There's so much to the art of it, or at least from our generation or my generation, because you're a little bit older.
Yeah.
You know,
it's all the same. We all come from, we was in the club at the same time.
Yeah. So at least from
5
our
years
generation.
apart, you're saying.
From our generation.
You was born in the 70s, right?
No, 81.
Oh, yeah.
Close enough.
Close enough.
There is was a thing to the art of hip hop, to MC and to rapping. When you walk in a room, like if we write in the jam together, you write, yo, this is my 4 bars. Listen to this. Da, 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 da. I'm like, ooh, shit, that's tight. Let me erase this and come a little bit better.
Let me try to.
And you spit it.
What was that last word you used?
Exactly.
Right.
You spit it and it's like, nah, I'm gonna change this word. Too many syllables. Put this other word in. I should take a breath right here. Nah, don't do that. Yeah, I like it like that.
Let me come in right here.
Where you would work on how you said it. You would recite it over and over as you're writing it, to the point, for me, as I'm writing the song, I'm reciting it so many times. By the time I got to the end of it and it's time to record, I damn near remember the whole
thing. The whole song off of heart.
Exactly.
And then you go in and just like, boom. I could never really, like, that was another thing I tell people, like, how the fuck, I read, bro. So when I'm rapping, if you got a paper in front of me, oh, believe it's gonna sound like I'm reading.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna sound like I'm reading, and I'm never gonna gain that rhythm and that flow. Your job is to memorize that shit.
So what I would do, I liked the sound that I had when I knew it 80%.
Mm-hmm.
When I knew it too well, like when I knew it by heart, then I would start overthinking and overcompensating in how I say it.
Saying different little words that ain't supposed to be there.
Yeah, and it didn't feel right.
Mm-hmm.
The vibe of the rhythm, because I would put certain pauses in there almost as I'm reading it, was like it gave more of a rhythmic feel, and it felt more organic. That's what I appreciated. But when I listen to music now, and a lot of other people in Pittsburgh that, you know, they over, I don't know how to put this.
Over everything
Yeah.
And there's too much. Less is always more. It's too much. And then you could tell you put all of that into, you forgot one thing you didn't put into it, thought.
Yeah. But I will say this. This is just my opinion. Art is subjective. I don't think that they fitting along the lines of you know, original hip hop and how it's supposed to be. No. But then you got your artists like your Silk the Shockers, and
I love, like I tell anybody this, like this be the arguments for me. Like people be like, man, these young rappers is trash, and I'll be like, you're crazy. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you're out your mind, bro.
You like them?
Yeah, I love them all, bro, because I love hip hop. I love rap. And I know that, what the fuck you want them to sound like we did still?
Offbeat and everything else.
You want them to sound like, you like, y'all really think? Okay, so I tell people like, let me break this down to you real quick. I'm the miggity, knock daddy. I'm the miggity. Some of them run around, but they came around like this. Some of them turn around, because they can't, Some of them like, that shit corny, bro. That shit trash. So it was great. It was cool. But when these motherfuckers be saying some of the stuff they be saying, like, they make you be like, huh? Wait, oh, damn, that was clever. Like, damn, what'd he say? Like, oh, okay. Stick so long, like, you know what I mean? Yardstick. They be like, wait, what? Yardstick, stick so long. I said, oh, okay.
This is a perfect opportunity for me to tell this story, right?
I love young nigga music.
So, and this is going to sound contradictory based on, you know, what I just said, but yes, I do. Art is subjective, hip hop subjective. I love hip hop. Mm-hmm. So there are artists that even if they don't sound as great to me, it's like, yeah, I kind of rock with it, right? So speaking of Proud to Be Local, one of your Proud to Be Local events, I believe is where I met him, Young Roach. Remember him?
Roach?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Jordan. Jordan York. That's my man. That's my guy.
That's my bro.
Love him to death. First show ever. Gave him his first show ever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he was admittedly, at least to me and everybody we knew, not like a real hip hop rapper.
I'm not a rapper.
Exactly. It was more like comedian type deal, right?
Pop star.
When I met him, he was kind of like a comedian / pop star or whatever.
Weird Al Yankovic like.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So we had this opportunity where he signed on with me. Mm-hmm. It's more like a verbal agreement. I was working on the paperwork and the process. And long story short, we never got to the end of the road to cross the finish line. But what happened, I was working with him, and he had his Twitter going on. Remember, he was like crazy popular.
He has an it factor.
Yeah, definitely. So there's a ton of songs that you can listen to of his online right now that he did under me. Mm-hmm. So like productions, I wrote a couple songs for him. The song he did with Worthwhile, Jordan Beckham's.
Yeah, Jordan Beckham. But that's my boy too. That's my homie too.
Yeah, Worthwhile. Yeah. God rest.
We did. I partnered with him on Put Up or Shut Up. We had a me and Worthwhile. That's what Put Up or Shut Up came from.
So
we collabed on a.
That's dope. So you probably knew or at least heard about when I was working with Jordan.
Yes, I used to, bro. I'm a mentor to Jordan. Like I used to talk to Jordan all the time. Like I still talk to Jordan, like sports shit, everything. Like that's my bro.
Nice. Yeah, I was trying to get him a sponsorship deal last time I talked to him, like a couple years ago. It didn't go through or whatever. But yeah, so I say that to say, the whole story about Jordan, because a lot of people didn't know that I wrote for him or that I was working with him. For real?
Mm-hmm.
So basically,
I knew you worked with him, but I didn't know you wrote for him.
So the jam he has with Worthwhile, I wrote that.
Okay.
There was another jam.
Tim Beckham.
Yeah, Tim. There's another jam they did that I produced it, I wrote it. We were supposed to do a video, and he was working with, I think it was the All Day ENT dude, some video dude.
Kramer.
Yeah, and
Alex.
I had a whole video treatment.
I knew everybody I worked with. When I say I worked with, I cut Alex Kramer here to this day. That's my dog. That's my boy. All Day.
I don't know if it was him. I remember at the time they were working together, but what happened, I had the video treatment. I was on the phone with Universal, and I was on the phone with my homie who worked with some labels and stuff, some A&R down south.
Right.
He's like, yo, I got this idea. Do this song. Do it like this. Do the video like this. We're going to shop it around. We're going to push the single, blah, blah, blah. Went to Jordan, and Jordan had his own team. He had like managers, had video people, whatever.
Yeah.
Went to him, was like, bro, I need you to do X, Y, Z. I don't know who made the decision, but they didn't do it. They completely did their own thing, their own way.
Damn.
And it was like, yo, you still my bro, but I think we lost like $250,000 on the deal. It was kind of a thing. But the whole reason I'm telling this story is, like you said, he has the it factor, but this is like, bro, still to this day, bro, where I'm like, regardless of not being a hip hop artist, not being a, Nas, Jadakiss, where you fine tuning your lyrics and stuff like that, I still looked at him like he was an official artist.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's just because, I did know him personally, but it's because he didn't front like he was.
Nope.
He never came to me like, yeah, I'm the illest rapper in the world, listen to this. It was like, yo, I'm not really like a hip hop rap artist.
I just want to make music.
I just want to make music
out there and get, like, he just was so just, like, I can just always remember, like, I feel energy. I got the pictures and everything. I document everything. Like, even that 1999 stuff, the logo, all that, I got that shit on video.
For real?
I got everything, bro.
Other people's performances too, or just yours?
I got some other people's performances, but I got, like, we always had the camera rolling. Always. Like, outside the events, all that. So, I remember with Jordan's first show, I Proud to Be Local. And I just remember the conversation I had after he got them performing, and it was kind of like, it was one of the greatest things in his life. You know what I'm saying? And then
he's a real humble dude.
Real humble. So then we always stayed in touch. You know what I mean? He did a lot of Proud to Be Locals. He did a lot of just events. So for instance, when I had Statement Records, we did concerts. We had a concert after Kelly Strayhorn. Like, so they had to, it was like prepared a year ahead of time. We had the date booked a year. So we did all the rehearsing, everything, like a real concert. Like, it's crazy. A lot of people that are older aren't going to know about this because they didn't attend. But that wasn't on them. That's just how I went about demographics. It was all ages. It was sold out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Jordan, Choreo, and this guy, Kojo, they were the opening acts. Like, they opened for Statement Records. It was crazy, bro.
I believe it.
It was legitimately,
to those two alone opening up, Choreo and Jordan, they had like the crowd had to be on point.
It was, and about it, I do got some video on my phone. I'll show it to you later. You know, people did what they didn't understand that came with me was everything that I did for my artist and for the artist, I made them feel as close to mainstream as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when I say a concert, I'm not talking about dudes getting up on stage and rapping to the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. I'm talking about the whole year, the whole 7 months, every person that was on statement had sets, like props. We had, when, like, say, for instance, Grimm, he had a song called Godzilla. You know what I mean? So when Grimm's about to, before he even do his performance, he's not even on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
But we got the big ass screen. We had all the effects. We did a whole little skit with Godzilla coming up out the ground, blowing all this stuff, you know what I mean? So we were really putting on a concert, like me and Capital Well, weeks before we picked out our outfits. We knew everything we were going to wear to the concert. So Capri Pizza is right by the Kelly Strayhorns, like kind of across the street. So we pre-videoed actually that was his release party. We pre-videoed us, it was like weeks, months before the show. But we had on the gear, everything we was gonna wear. We went, bought on our gear, had it, and we pre-did a little conversation. And me and him in Capri, drinking, eating some pizza, talking, and was like, I'm trying to go wrap this show, you ready? And then we recorded us getting up out of Capri, walking across the street, going in, walking through the stage area, coming out. But all of that, once it was concert time, it's playing up on the screen. So they're just watching us talk and watching everything. And then they're watching us and they see us walking. It looks live.
Yeah.
So then when they show us walking and coming out, we really came out. Boom. Everybody's like, oh, got the gear on, same clothes. Yeah. I got that from Snoop and them.
Yeah,
I learned that from Snoop and them at the Up and Smoke tour, because I was part of Up and Smoke tour. I learned all of that shit. So I wasn't a part of it. I was able to attend the Up and Smoke tour. Shout out to Joe Henderson, Stick, who made beats and shit. He ended up getting me the ticket, and I ended up weaseling my way down there closer to where I wasn't supposed to be. In this, they had Dre and Snoop was doing this little thing, and then they shot dude up like boom, 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 boom. And then they went to the camera and was like, y'all ready for us to rock this motherfucker? And the crowd started screaming, yeah. He said, I said, are y'all ready for us to rock this motherfucker? And they was like, yeah. And then they came out with that gear on. I was like, oh, that was fucking hard. So I always remember that. So we did that, and then it was a show, bro. Like, it was just a bona fide concert. You know what I mean? That just brings in the Jordan York. He performed in that. And when they did that, when they went to open, after they seen, like, I was telling them all, like, bro, you got this much time, do whatever it is that you want to do. Like, whatever it is you need on that screen, however, picture you about to have the biggest concert. I always had my vision was, everything that these concerts do, it's all doable. You know what I mean? It just takes time. Like, even when we did the Pumas,
right?
You know, the first Puma started off with names and pictures, right? The next Puma started off with the video, just kind of not the video, but the reel came up, the picture came in.
Just for the audience, Puma,
Pittsburgh Underground Music Awards. Yeah. So everything that I did, everything that I did, I always wanted the artist to feel local was better. Local was just equal as mainstream. You know what I mean? I'm giving them stuff to be like, damn, that was dope. Like, that was dope. Like, I won an award, and then my music was playing when I won the award. It wasn't somebody else's. Like, we took the time to make sure we had a list of, we always made it look as mainstream as possible, because everything that I did, I simulated what the mainstream did.
So we running a little close on time. We got a little bit of time, but a couple questions on music before we skip past music. There was Puma, and there was Hip Hop Music Awards.
Mm-hmm.
Were both of them yours?
No, Pittsburgh Hip Hop Music Awards was Dwayne Muhammad.
Big D.
Yeah, No, Big D is somebody different.
2 different people.
Big D was Mean Street with Craven.
Okay, got you.
Dwayne Muhammad was just an outside entity.
Okay.
Who came into Pittsburgh and brought the Pittsburgh Hip Hop Awards. He probably like kind of scratched his head. Was like, light bulb, this would be dope. And then he started having them at Central PA. He started having them everywhere. So I did get involved when he did have it. And, they had the Pittsburgh Hip Hop Awards and everything was cool. Ran pretty well, but then he passed away. And when he passed away, they didn't really have a Pittsburgh Hip Hop Awards, but they had the awards where like they just gave some awards out to certain. I actually won an award that wasn't a go-to event. So then later on, I just was like watching BET Awards and shit was like, I might as well do an awards. But when I did it, it wasn't nobody's business. We did it all in the secret.
What you mean?
Nobody knew it was me. Nobody knew it was Hollywood. Nobody. Because Hollywood was brilliant, you know what I mean? And I was brilliant. I knew how to talk. And that's when transitioning where you don't have to see nobody's face. It was all emails and who's running this and who's running this. So what we did was, we just kept our names off of everything and we spoke to people that would talk shit on me. Be great. Like, I fucking can't stand Scrap. I'm like, you can't? Fine with me, but guess what? I'm not gonna hate on you.
Right.
You know what I mean? You still gonna get your votes. I know how you feel about me now. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we start putting people, when it was time for people to pick up tickets and go meet people, I would just send Caucasian people. I mean, I was sending Caucasian people, sending my Caucasian people like, bro, go grab this stuff for me. No, I want them to see me. So they go, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then, the day of the awards, when motherfuckers seen it was us, they was like, glad to have you here, because some of you wouldn't have been here if y'all found y'all would have hated. Y'all just would have hated on this just for the simple fact that y'all don't like people. You can work with people that you don't like to get a good cause. Like I work with people every day we work with people who are racist, we work with people who are just foul, but that don't take their talent away. You know what I mean? We ain't hanging together. So if we got to be the number one company to sell everything and you're good at it and you're one of the best, let's just sell and do what we got to do. You know what I mean? So that was, yeah.
Why did that end?
What? Pumas? Pittsburgh, man. Pittsburgh was a crybabies. It started to, you don't create something to divide people. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this motherfucker's trash. How did he win? Well, honestly, I don't know how he won neither, but I do know how he won. He literally every day woke up and got to his fan base and told them to vote for him. He got nominated, he made it to the nomination round, and there was a lot of qualification. And people they didn't know it was us. So they didn't know these qualifications came from us, but like, you wasn't getting nominated if you didn't have 1,000 views. We go to pages, we see like, okay, this dude got 30,000 views, but 3 likes. You bought them. Then we started learning how to find out who bought views. So it was just like, it just was an easy way for me to always, it even gave me more like, I know, bro, you don't know I know, because you don't know what I know.
Right.
But I see your real numbers. I do. I see how many people voted for you. 5 people, bro. Nobody gives a damn about you, but I'm not gonna tell nobody. You the hottest motherfucker in the city. Everybody supports you, but you got 5 votes, bro.
Yeah.
But somebody else got 300. And people like, that's people voting over and over again. No, we had the system to where it did not accept the same email. You got 1 vote off the email. But if somebody went and took it upon themselves to create 1,700 emails, then that's on them. That's a loophole you're gonna get in everywhere. Even in the NFL, in All-Star game. Stats don't pick the players, the people pick the players.
Right.
So
if you get an email, you got 10 emails, you're going to vote for your favorite player in all 10 emails.
Right.
You're going to.
Right.
So that's not, again, why didn't you create 500 emails to get yourself, you know what I'm saying? Why didn't you do what you were supposed to do to get those nominations if you didn't
Right.
meet those requirements? So,
but if you dealing with somebody that got 300 emails or 300 votes and 1,000, however many thousand views,
can't
it's
deny
like
it.
it's
You don't deny
undeniable.
it. It's undeniable. We putting them on there and then we're gonna let them, but it's like, damn, somebody's just like, I'm the hottest. How come S Money ain't on there? That's bullcrap. Because S Money didn't care for it, obviously. S Money didn't put nobody voted for. Not saying that didn't happen. S Money got voted for, but I'm just saying, like, I didn't mean I shouldn't use his name, but that's a good name for somebody that wasn't on there.
Like basically somebody that was popular that maybe their fans wasn't even checking for them in this event to even put his name
It wasn't
on there.
supporting like you're supposed to support your artist. You should have took time out instead of looking past it. You're supposed to nominate them, But some of them, like when you speak of the S Moneys, you knew when you went to his page, the man had 5,000 views and 4,000 likes.
Yeah.
So this is nomination for video of the year.
Yeah.
We're going to put that in there because of the stats alone. You know what I mean? And that's how it went. And once it got to that, people just start, it's like, bro, we ain't gonna be, you gonna complain about something, bro. Y'all gonna just be mad and I'm not doing this no more. I'm real big on just like, you know what? Do better then. And I always feel this is something that I feel as though that when because I went to a backseat. So I'm gonna take a backseat to Pittsburgh hip hop because I got a point to prove. My point was, people don't know how much I do for Pittsburgh hip hop. They don't know how many phone calls I get.
Right.
They don't know when there's situations where people's microphones break or they need speakers and all this other stuff. They don't know that Scrap comes a helping all the time. Like, I am so connected to helping everybody. I work with everybody. You know what I mean? Most of the people would be like, Scrap some motherfucking assholes because you were bad business. And I just told you about it. You can go elsewhere. I ain't got time I'm not kissing your ass, bro. I got your numbers, bro. I got your numbers. You don't know I got your numbers. You talking to me like you Wiz Khalifa, bro. You're not. I got your numbers. You got 3 people voted for you. You got 50 views on your YouTube, bro. What are you talking about? I don't got to say that, but I know this.
Right.
I seen it with my own eyes. Numbers is what tell me. And then I go to all the shows. I go to every show. And that was another thing, like going to all the shows, people be like, you always leaving shows. Bro, there's another show going on. So I go to see certain people to see what the hype was about. Like Jordan York. Like, Jordan brought people.
Yeah. Yeah.
He brought people. And there was another one, Kolichi. Kolichi, now, that's my dog. Like, Kolichi, I didn't know at the time, but he was getting high. But I didn't know he was getting high. His following was insane. Now he's a Christian rapper. His following is way up there. Like it's way up there. Like it's up there. It's like 60, 70,000, maybe 100. You know what I mean? But it's up there. But these are people that people be like, at the awards, seeing them up there, like, who the fuck is that? Like, bro, he got 60,000 views, bro, and 60,000 followers. Like, y'all aren't tuned in like y'all think because you're rapping at these clubs and you think you popping in the city because Pittsburgh is this big and they talk about a certain rapper, but don't nobody know y'all outside of the city.
Right.
Not the city, just
like suburbs,
like Brooklyns, and don't nobody know who y'all are, but there's people that know the Beaties.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the John Questers, people, I don't know who they are. Be a city, them niggas is trash. Don't nobody know them. What are you talking about? No, they're not. They're popping in everywhere but the city.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's the thing.
That's the thing. People want to say who's popping and who's not, but they don't know their numbers. They just don't know them. You know?
Okay. Shift from that. This whole nonprofit work,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was after Pumas. Somewhere around that time is when I seen the toy bus thing. And then we got the is it Scrapper Claus?
Yeah, Scrapper Claus.
In the blue Santa suit.
Yeah.
To know Scrap personally. Also the barber.
Mm-hmm.
To know you personally, to hear you talk, you never really come across as a, one of them people that's like, oh, we got to help the community. We got to get back to the kids. It's like, if you would have never told me, if I never seen an advertisement or a promotion or something like that, I would not know that Scrap has such a sensitive spot for the community, for the children, the youth in general. And it's like, from my perspective, I don't see you waving your hand saying, hey, I'm helping. I don't see you begging for any recognition or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And there's literally no indicator there. But to get it like a outside view to look in and see, damn, like every Christmas, he's giving this away. He's doing that. He's, coaching the youth. He's helping kids reach this. He's doing all these things. That was honestly the main reason why I wanted to make sure you bring it in here. Because what I said is for the audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uplifting the community and stuff like that. What I want to know first, what got you your start in that? Like, what made you say, I want to start giving back to the community and the youth?
First, like, wow, bro. It's different with me. Like, I'm a 1%er.
Okay.
I live my life to be it. I've always understood it. 99.
What's the difference between a 1%er and a 5%er? Is it, wait,
A 5%er?
is it under like the Nation of Islam or is it completely different?
No, just me.
Okay.
When it comes to the world, you're 99% of the time, people are gonna do things that I'm just not gonna do.
That's what you mean. I get it.
You know what I mean? What happens to people doesn't happen to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I start coaching randomly. I moved to Swissville. I only lived in 2 areas. I did 25 years in Penn Hills, and then I moved to Swissville. I lived in Wilkesburg for like a couple months, and then I moved to Swissville, and I lived there since. So I lived
that same place that I came over to?
No, I moved in a couple of different places, but I never left Swissville. I lived in Penn Hills, and I lived in Swissville.
Yeah.
And one day I was out. I played football my whole life since I was a kid, 5 all the way to 18, and my coaches were the best. I got caught in school with a gun, 9th grade, didn't go to jail. Football, my coach fought for every bit, not for me not to go out to school in handcuffs, and never went to Schumann. My dad, just a whole lot of help, I got kicked out of school, I got expelled, but I was able to return if I was able to do certain things in homeschool and things like that. So I did all those things. So I always had leaders. I've always had all of that. So one day, I just seen some kids outside my neighborhood when I just moved, and I just walked out and was walking down, and Mr. Ballard, John Ballard, he bowled with my dad. And he was like, ain't you JP's dad, son? And I was like, yeah, what's up? He was like, your dad talks a lot about you. You play football, right? I said, yes, sir. And he was like, I got some kids over here. Their coach ain't here. You want to coach some football or something? Want to help out to their coach arrives and stuff? And, you know what I mean? I'll talk to you later. I was like, okay, no problem. So I go over, little group of dudes. I'm like, yo, bring it all in. I just was doing stuff that I knew from my knowledge of being in high school, it just kind of ran it. I started doing all of the things that we did at practice. So I become this little coach, and the coach never shows up the first day. He asked me, "Can I come back tomorrow?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I come back, coach don't show up. Like, week and a half. So I'm like, oh, okay. I start putting people in position, boom, 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 boom. When then this white guy show up in a motorcycle, come in and just, "Hey, how you doing? Thanks. He don't go there, he go here." And I'm like, what? What you mean? They're like, "Oh, the guy who introduced me, Mr. Ballard, he's like, this is the head coach I was talking to you about." I'm like, "You just coming and changing stuff? Like, this is what we're doing? You don't even want to talk to me." He said, "I coach these kids. I know where they play." He told me, literally, my godson, now, at the time, was like, bad as hell. Wrote him off. He said, "That one right there, waste of time." I said, "What?" "Well, give him to me. This is my project. Because if he's a waste of time, I was told that too. I was told I was going to die. I was told I wouldn't make it to 18. So that's what I told him. So I just, put in time, and we bump heads. We just keep bumping heads. That's what comes with leadership.
Yeah.
So I got to take the role. I got to fall back. It's his team. So as the time goes on, the kids started to, I rapped, I made song about the team. We had, and there's just, I started to get more committed. The guy ended up fading off. You know what I mean? I just started to grow with the community. And then I started cutting hair in the community, but got to rewind it all the way back to high school again. So my 12th grade year, you have to do a senior theme. A senior theme is basically, you have to pick something to write, read about, study, write an essay on, and all that. I did mine on straight gangbanging. I was that. Everybody knew what I had my mind made up. I was either going to be a professional football player, a rap star, or a true fucking gangster. Period. And I learned about gangbanging. 1972, Community Restoration and Progress, Krew. The gang wasn't created for violence. It was created for community. And once the riots started, the segregation was, different. The Bloods, I can't really remember it all, but I know that the Bloods were created, and then the street gang, it turned into street gangs and fights and all that other stuff. Yeah. But the main process of it all, everybody that I looked up to, not Nino Brown, but Bumpy Johnson, Scarface, Frank Lucas. Like, I looked up to these people. One big gangster. You watch every gangster movie, they take care of their community.
Right.
Turkeys, or even Nino Brown. As mean and as nasty as he was, he took care of the community. You know what I mean? Thanksgiving, he was an asshole, but, they had turkeys, gave to the community. So I was always like, okay, that's a part of the role. You can't be a gangster if you ain't taking care of home. You know what I'm saying? You ain't no gangster if you ain't taking care of your community. And my grandfather, he had a white woman in the 60s. And I always used to be like, how the fuck? But he had an Italian. So he hung with the Italians. And they called my grandfather the Black Godfather. My dad always didn't want my grandfather to tell me these stories and stuff, so I was always into it. And I was just like, I'm gonna be the Black grandfather's grandson. That's me, I'm gonna be a fucking gangster. And I was, but I just was always taught to do for the community. To be a gangster, you have to do for your community. I've never seen a gangster not. Never. So it never was when they were at the gangster of their shit. It was when they were at the buying the businesses, taking care of their community. They didn't poison their community. They poisoned everybody else's. I never sold no crack or nothing like that. I never sold no hard drugs. Never. I tried one time, and I blew the flip. I did, because I used to sell weed.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking at the size versus the weight. So I blew the flip, man. Man wanted to damn near blow my head off. Like, bro, what the fuck? I was selling dime bags of crack the size of dime bags of weed. You feel me?
Whoa.
Boy, they was coming back every day, but I wasn't making no money. You know what I'm saying? So I said, this ain't for me. I'm not,
You was spending, losing money.
man, I kept saying, bro, this ain't for me. I'm not making no money, dude. Like, I want my money. I said, this ain't for me, bro. I got other ways to give you the money. I only did it, tried it one time, so I just paid it off. Like, I got a job, bro. I work, man, whatever. I was just trying it. So I didn't do it. So I just learned people have nothing. So there's a chapter in my life. I don't know. You know my story with my son?
I don't think so.
See. Okay. So when my son was 3 years old, my son drowned, right? And in a lake in New York. And what I witnessed in that is who I became. You know, I've always been a 1%er. I always said what happens to me doesn't happen to everyone else. I've always been that. Like, been in fights. 10 minutes later, people pull up. Everything getting hit, but I'm just like, what the fuck? How come that didn't hit me? Another time, a couple other times, I've been shot at a lot of times. I'm like, damn, he's hit. I'm not hit. Like, damn, I'm really a 1%er for real. I mean, so my reality kicked in when my son drowned. And when people be like, your son's alive. What you talking about? He drowned. He wasn't alive. Not at that time. You know. This is such a long story. I don't know how much time we have. So it's like, I go to New York. My kid's mom's from New York. I have to go pick my kids up from New York. And we're on our way. Just long story short, we're on our way home after they did all the swimming and stuff. And I still to this day don't know why my son ended up in the lake. So before we're getting ready to leave, my daughter and her two cousins come running into the house. They tell me my son's drowning. I'm in New York. I don't know where the fuck I'm going. So they start running. Everybody runs out the house. They run to this lake. I run to the lake. And you know, when you picture drowning, somebody say somebody's drowning. You picture somebody's drowning. Help. Okay, so I'm a stranger to where I'm at. I'm just following people because first I'm running past people, but I don't know where I'm running. So I got to slow down and let people get in front of me. So when they run and get to the lake, we come around a corner. I go through this little, lake type shit. And when I get to the lake, it's just water. So I'm thinking, surprise, haha, it's like it's a joke. And I'm like, where are they drowning at? They're like, they're in the water somewhere. I'm like, what? Immediately go in the water, walking through the water, can't find my child. You know what I'm saying? Can't find my child, can't find their aunt. She just ran everybody's, no, we can't find her. So probably like 2 minutes later, the Aunt Gladys, she just floats up right next to me. Bloop, 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 bloop. And I'm like, oh shit. Wow. And she's gone. So they take her, out the water. And you when you think about drowning, you think about movies, CPR, No. When I say her body was full of water, like her belly looked like she was pregnant, bro. Wow. So they lay her on her back. They lift her feet up, push. Every hole that she has on her body that I could see, water came out of. Ears, nose, mouth, eyes. While all this is going on, we don't have my son. It's 10 minutes later. I still don't have my child. We searching through the waters, and I just stopped, bro. I'm just like, my mom's dead. My mom's passed away since I was younger. I'm like, Mom, close my eyes. I pray for an angel. I literally say, I'm not like everybody else. Please help me. Send me an angel. Find my son. I'm from Pittsburgh. I'm thinking river current. I'm thinking my son is, I don't know where. But thank God it was a lake of still water. Because moments after I make the prayer and all that stuff, my son gets found. They put my son out the water, so when they're holding him, he's not alive. He's literally curled over, like head this way, feet this way, nothing. So now they got a couple times. So like, while he's on his back, I'm on my belly, and I'm in his ear. I'm telling him, we're 1%ers. You gotta fight. All your dad knows how to do is fight, and you're my son. I said, you just gotta fight. Fight for me. We go, boom, boom, boom. Beep, 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 beep. Okay, cool. We ain't out to clear. So now he gets ambulance to the hospital. And when I tell you all of that shit's real, like when you're going to walk in and then you can't go past the door and it's like you can't come past it. It's like, what the fuck? So I gotta stand there and it's like a sailor, like a submarine window. Mm-hmm. And I'm just staring at it. I asked the ambulance person, I said, please don't leave. Can you just go stand at the door? Thumbs up or thumb down and let me know what my son, if he's alive or anything. So like the whole time, like long time, like half hour, maybe 45 minutes go past. I'm still standing in the window. She gave me a thumbs up. So I'm all like, whew. But I'm not prepared for what I'm getting ready to go into. So now I walk into this room to see my son. Human body's this. Okay, this is a human body. This is his face. These are his legs. This is how he is in the bed. Back of his head, bottom of his feet.
Wow.
Like a backward C, like this.
Yeah.
But like that. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow.
So I'm like, we'll be all right. And with that came with a lot of doubt. A whole lot, bro. And I literally slept in the crib with my son bent backwards every day. My son was in a coma for like 8 months. When he came out of his coma, once he got his brain checked and everything, brain CAT scan, his CAT scan is just like any CAT scan, but when you look at it you see this big black space where he lost a lot. He can't walk, he can't talk, he can't eat, he can't do nothing. He's just in his hospital bed. And we were in New York at the time. I'm like, y'all are good at basketball. So these are true facts. I said, y'all are good at basketball. But one thing I know that we are good at, because half of you motherfuckers probably went to school there, is being doctors. We make doctors. Get my son back home. So it's the first time I ever been on a jet. They jet flighted my son from New York to Pittsburgh, brought him into Children's. We go into Children's and his grandma comes into town. He's still like sedated. He's like just fucking can't do nothing.
Right.
Just eyes open a little bit.
his grandma used to sing this song in Spanish because she's Puerto Rican. And he just always felt that, he always thought that the Spanish language was hilarious, bro. When he was a kid, he would just be cracking up, like beyond, like this dude thing. So she comes, she starts singing the song to him. You know what I mean? I see a twitch in his lip, bro. Like, and I'm like, yo. He hears that. He remembers that. He hears that. I'm like, do that again? So she does it again. So I go get the doctor. I go get the doctor and I'm like, yo, my son is kind of like twitching his lip every time she sings this song that she used to sing, that she used to laugh. And she tells me, well, you know, with the brain trauma, his emotions are going to trigger all different. You might catch tears running down his eyes. You might catch smile on his face. So I was like, yeah, sing it again. We're right in front of her. Sing it again. She sang it and that lip started moving. I'm like, okay. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Your name tag does not have G-O-D on it in no type of fucking way. And I go into this little, to the point where it's like, get him the fuck out of here. Security, basically now I'm thinking John fucking Q, bro. I'm in my head like, I'll be on some John Q shit in a minute that these motherfuckers think it's a joke. So I steal the chart. Go to the library. I type in every fucking medicine known on that chart and seen what was sedating my child and what wasn't. I made him take him off of everything. I had to sign off on it. They was giving me all this, you know. So now I'm more worried about his brain, and I'm like, you know, where can we get him to where we can focus on his his motors and getting his brain together? Because y'all are only doctors at this point. You're only going to tell me what you need to tell me to keep him here and whatever. So Children's Institute, Squirrel Hill. My son, you know, this is my son. You know what I'm saying? This is how we walk in. You know what I'm saying? Wheelchair, anything you eat, can't locate it. This is legitimately it. So when we get there, I asked them, has anybody ever came in this place? Has anyone ever came in this place that went home? Do people leave here? Has anybody ever drowned and left here? And they said, well, one time. There was a girl named Bailey. She came here. And I was like, well, being the 1%er that I am, I'm not going to be here forever. Me and my son's walking out of here. You might as well make him a poster child. And then, you know, came with more doubt. Like, well, sir, you know, we just want to make sure you know that. I'm like, okay, whatever. Well, I just want you to make sure you know that, like, different shit happens to me. So now we're going on progressing. My son's progressing more and more every day as the year goes. I never dropped out of school. I was in college at the time and working. I never dropped out of school. I never stopped working. Neither did his mom. Neither did nobody. My whole family every day bonded together to make sure he never spent a day alone. I slept with my son every single day. Every day from the time he drowned to the time that 2 years later, on December 23rd, my son was in stilts, leg stilts, and we walked home. We left.
Wow.
We left. And he rehabbed to learn to walk again. He rehabbed to learn to talk again. Everything that my son is doing, they said he wouldn't do. When I was in New York the first time, I told them, I'm coming back. When I walked back down here, everybody that said this, that doubted it, you're going to regret it. There was a lady, she called my son Spider-Man, and she believed it. I'm a man of my word. I went back to New York with my son once my son could walk. He couldn't walk great, but he could walk, and we walked right back down the hallway that he was life flighted out of.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then to fast forward it to now, you know, fast forward it to high school, my son has won a WPIL championship playing football. My son has went to college and played football. My son has a daughter right now. My son lives in Arizona. And it's all to say is I've always been this 1%er. Wow. And no one could ever tell me differently. So when I'm the way that I am about stuff, I don't be trying to hear shit. You ain't got no excuse for me. Because I watched my son drown. I watched people tell me he wasn't. I didn't have no belief in them. I had nothing but faith. I pushed my son. I pushed him. I left stuff out. I pushed the shit out of him. Like, no holds barred. Like, people like, sir. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Leave me alone. Like, picking my son up, literally standing him up and letting him fall. Boom, boom. They're like, sir. I'm like, his brain's going to kick in eventually. I taught him to walk. I said, I will just have a 3-year-old baby. My son will always be 3 years behind now. This is a reset. That's how I looked at it. So when my son turned 21, people always like, man, he's goofy as hell. Yeah, immature. I'm like, he's 18. He was in a coma. He lost 2 years of his life. And his brain didn't get it's different than yours. So that's why I am this. That's why I buy no excuse. You're not going to tell me nothing. Nothing. You just can't. You can't. You can't. You can't. I seen it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I watched my baby boy at every moment want to quit, give up. I just know when I say you can do anything, you can become anything you want to, I mean that. Yeah. I'm not saying I watched somebody lose everything, become everything more than people that didn't lose nothing. You know what I'm saying? There's people out here without a disability or at all, never drowned, never did nothing. They ain't go to college. They ain't play football. They ain't had no baby. They ain't do none of that. And they give me these excuses. It be the same people, and I look at them like, man, them is excuses. And they get offended. Because I just like, you can go over there. Yeah. I ain't got time for it. I'm a believer. And if you can't believe with me, I believe by myself. Because I'm a 1%er, all I need is myself. That's why I believe, because that's my faith.
3 questions left for you.
Mm-hmm.
First, is like quick answers. First, when you say 1%er, is that, at first I was thinking it was something similar to 5%er because I thought I heard it before. Is that like something that you just say you're 1% of the population?
I'm 1%. I just know.
It's not like a group of...
No, it's not a group of people.
Okay.
It can't be a group.
Okay.
1% can't be. It's 1%. You can't share 1%.
1%.
You could break it down to so many. You could break it down to point. But when it comes to 1 to 100, I am
one of 100.
I'm rare.
Right.
I am rare not only just in me, I'm rare by what happens to me.
I get it.
All the time.
I get it.
You know?
I
was in a car accident. I went over a cliff when I was a kid in the car. And didn't die. Somebody pulled me out.
All right. My bad. I fix my belt. Next question. When you described like how you navigate giving back to the community,
mm-hmm.
and even going back to, we were having a conversation about being a leader, like, you know, we a part of the team. If I need to play center, I'm gonna play center. You take your ball back, I'm gonna stab your ball, I'm gonna kick it across the street. All of that, you know, even to when you were a senior and, you know, talking about you wrote the thing and did the project on being a gangster, gang member.
Mm-hmm.
All of that screams non-violent gangster. I mean, I guess technically you could be violent and I don't know it all, but would you consider yourself like like how Styles P says, like gangster and gentleman? Like, would you consider yourself that form of gangster now? Like, have you reached that you aspired from your grandfather?
Yeah, I passed it. I'm beyond a level of gangster.
What is your definition of the word gangster?
Him. Somebody who is easily intimidated of people or intimidated by just because.
So it intimidates people easily?
Yeah. The outcome
the outcome and the stature of the person is intimidating.
So
Like,
not necessarily saying you do anything that may be questionable, but
shooting somebody and killing them is not a gangster.
not a gangster. Got it.
It's not a gangster. You're a thug.
And there's
You're
a difference
thug.
between
You're
the
a
gangster.
rascal.
Difference between the gangster and the thug, right?
Yeah, just like Nunu said. Like Nunu said and paid in full. He said, you don't look like a drug dealer. What's a drug dealer look like? You know what I'm saying? A gangster is like, let's treat it as politics. A gangster, the president. He don't gotta do much. You know what I mean? Everybody else gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's earned. It's something that's really earned, like, okay, he might beat my ass. Damn, he might shoot me. Damn, he might get me a job. Damn, if I don't got no food, I can go to this man. Damn, if I need to borrow some money, that's gangster. Like, gangster is not violent. It's not. Gangster's a leader. It's a leader. It's a lead role, but it's derogatory. It comes with, there was some things that came along with it to become a gangster, but everybody, like, can't be an OG. Everybody can't be an OG. Like, but OG, I'd be like, don't call that dude an OG. He did not do nothing. He's just because he's older don't make him an OG. He's not.
What do you have to do to become an OG?
Put the work in.
What work is that? Like, you mean
All of it. From there has to be the average OG has the wisdom and the knowledge to help you not do it, to give you the reasons for not to do it.
so you have to live a street life?
Yeah, you
Young.
got to be able to identify. Like the YNs, they call them. We used to call them YGs, young gangsters. When they could come to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or when you can acknowledge them and be able to pull them in a different direction. You know what I mean? Like an OG surpasses all of it. Like, I did all that, young blood. Like, I did all that. This is where it's going to get you if you don't do this, that. Those is the OGs. Like, those are the gangsters, the ones that basically can keep the chaos under control. Somebody that, when the shit's getting out of hand, who's going to come in and be like, that's enough. That's it. Who do they respect that? It's like, oh,
Like
I done
somebody that
heard stories about him.
has the authority, commands attention,
Yes. And, you know, somebody that people that they already are out here
respect.
and trying to emulate or surpass or get to. Like, I heard OG Bobby Johnson used to the people that got out of line. So when OG Bobby Johnson come over here and be like, that's
Everybody,
enough.
shut up and listen.
Because if we be like, fuck you, OG Bobby Johnson, chances are OG Bobby Johnson might send somebody after us because of that. Because it's like, you poisoning, I just told y'all to chill out. A gangster can go in to talk to the politics. You can go talk to the police. You can go talk to the chief. Because if you're an OG, you're out the game. You still home though. You know what I mean? You can't be, I'm an OG, but you still slanging crack in the hood. Nigga, you not no OG, you still a thug.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But me, anything you say for me, you can't go and be like, well, he sells this and he sells that. No, he doesn't. No, he's not. But that dude's track record shows that I wouldn't mess with him. But at the same time, right now, I give everything to my community because these people grow up in your community. And if they love you, if you care for them, they're not going to, and they know where you live, they're not going to throw a rock at your house.
Right.
They're not going to steal your car. They're going to respect you. They're going to be like, don't touch that one. That's OG. He just gave my mom turkey and my little brother all these toys and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then some of these kids grow up to be nothing, but you're something to them.
Mm-hmm.
So when there's a moment say a Facebook post. It's true shit. There's a Facebook post. I got somebody talking to me crazy. And I'm like, you're talking to me crazy. You're like, you're only talking to me crazy because I'm in the position I am. And you know I'm not going to do nothing. But then I get an inbox on the side like, OG, we're not going to let this man talk to you like that because, you know, I still remember when I ain't had no Christmas and my mom ain't had no Christmas and you showed up and gave my parents all them toys for my brothers and sisters. And it's like, all right, at least I know that like, if there's ever a moment where I got to get my hands dirty, I don't got to get my hands dirty. I pray that I wouldn't have to, but if I have to, it's a crazy world out here. You know, it's a crazy world out here. You can't trust nothing from nobody. You know, you just can't because it just seems like the way we are, the way we're geared into the world right now, it's like you got to keep your head on so much of a swivel because of just resegregation. You know what I mean? So if there ever is a time where my leadership becomes so strong that I need protection, who am I going to go get? I'm going to go get the ones that said they would protect me and the ones that are going to protect me because of all the things that I said that not said, but all the things that I've done in the community. So I just love to get back to the community because it keeps my kids safe. They respect my kids. You know, when people, even with my son, like my son could never really go the bad route. It's like, you know, OG told us, bro, if you even try, send you home. I go outside, I talk, y'all see my son out here, bro, send him home. You know, so it's just 1%. And real quick, it's just like, people be like, but you be with the kids, but you represent with a blue Santa suit and all that other stuff. And I'm like, well, at least I'm real. I'm realer than Santa Claus, bro. I am realer than Santa Claus. You don't see no fucking Santa Claus. Santa Claus ain't coming to your house and giving you gifts. Santa Claus ain't outside giving you gifts. I am. I'm literally my own Santa Claus. And I'm not going to wear no red suit to contradict what it is that the oath that I gave. I'm no different than a man that was in the army. He hoorah and all that other stuff, but that don't, he done went and killed people off in the war and everything. He sticks to his oath. I'm not going to be fake or phony. People be like, this man was a Crip and no, what you going to say I was a Crip? But he's doing great for the community. You just look past that. You got to look past it. You know what I mean? Because it's just, I represent where I come from. I represent what I am. And I don't care because I'm not out here pushing it as a violence. I'm still out here pushing it as, I ain't corny enough to be like, had nothing to do with my life, but it had everything to do with my life. That's my family. I grew up with them. Without them, I'm a lot more violent. They seen me. They like, bro, a lot of times was just like, we got the violence. You're the money, bro. Get the money. Do what we gotta do to get us out of here. And that's what it was, you know. But stay what I am. And I'm gonna remain it until I die.
I wanted to touch on this. You had hit me on Facebook and asked me to speak on it, and I almost forgot about it. The beef. I don't want to date this because I can't say exactly when this will release. But the beef between Stunner and Fed.
I'm at the point in my life where I know how strong we are. I know what the narrative is. Okay, it's gonna get you attention. But what's it gonna make you for real? Do you know what attention you would have got better? If y'all had just said, fuck it, let's make a song and diss everybody that wants to see us diss each other. Now it's like, these niggas made a song together? Yeah, I need to hear this. And then when you hear it, it's like, did he just say, to you fingers scrolling people that be da-da-da-da-da-da-da? And it's like, that's gonna get you your views. That's gonna get you what you're looking for. And then it shows a unity. Because at the end of the day, America and everybody else gets rich off of us fighting and fucking each other up. And everybody thinks it's okay. Like, I'm a fighter, yeah, but I don't condone fighting each other. It doesn't make no sense. It's like, you know, we're viral. White folk don't make shit go viral. We do. White people are not posting Donald Trump and the Epstein files. Black people are. And it's like, in y'all day, there wasn't nothing positive that y'all could have found and made go this viral. If we, the algorithm. Well, you know, you can change the algorithm if you all are pushing the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're easy to, like I said about the beautiful woman. It could be a beautiful woman and they're gonna talk about her feet. Like, damn, look at her feet. And they blow it up and then it's like, well, this is her when she was 12, when she was ugly as heck and nobody gave her a chance. And you still looking at her feet. But y'all gonna push about her feet and keep pushing about her feet, not about how beautiful the woman is and what she came from and how we don't push nobody knows the true stories of people because the true story doesn't seem cool, but really, like, for instance, everything that I've talked about, right? Everything that I've done, the most interesting thing is the true story about my son. You know what I'm saying? It's the true story about my son.
You think it is?
Yeah, because if I put that out there, like I put everything else out there, they're gonna share the shit out of it. They're gonna share the heck out of it.
I mean,
if my son was drowning and I had a phone and I'm running down the street and tell my son's drowning, they're gonna share the shit out of it. But if I say my son drowned, I need help, people, please help me, I'm not gonna get the shares. They'll talk about it, but they're not gonna. You know what I mean? They're gonna push the bullshit before they push the real shit, and that's where I feel as though they should not. You know, that's like J. Cole. J. Cole's weak as hell for backing out. No, he's not. It was the smartest thing ever, because guess what? Y'all will never stop talking about it. Y'all will never stop talking about how, remember they always told us to be the bigger man and walk away from a fight? The moment a man walked away from a fight, y'all just tried to plaster him. But all you did was keep him irrelevant, keep him in the mix. He knew what he was doing. It was a smarter thing to do. He got more out of it than going at it, because now it continues. And then you people, Biggie, Tupac type shit, the fans, they get emotionally attached. And they don't know it's just rap beef.
Right.
And somebody just want to do your favorite rapper a favor and pop, pop. And it's like, who killed him? I don't know. Yeah, nobody knows, but it was his favorite fan. His fucking stan did it for him because they exist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. People
don't understand how obsessed fans could be to fall into a beef. It's like somebody, I even talked to somebody, like a couple, they really brought it up, like, Stunner got niggas that'll ride for him. No shit. And so one of them niggas ain't understanding that this is just rap. And if they see Fed to God somewhere, they might just bust at him.
Right.
And it's like, damn, what if they did a song together? They would have went up to him and dapped him up. Y'all killed that shit, bro. If you ever got some problems, bro, with any of them people that y'all was dissing, I got you. But ain't all the people that they was dissing would have been the fans that was so in. This the fans who aren't your fans, who are pushing you to be negative. It's not gonna sell. It's not you're not selling it. You're just getting clicks.
Right.
We're waiting for the response. We're waiting for the response. Name 5 songs that you bought off of them. What money did you put in their pocket? What did you do for them? You didn't do nothing for them. You ain't do nothing for them, but now got them looking over their shoulder from some weirdos that y'all don't think exist. You know, I hope they keep it as hip-hop as possible, keep it on wax as possible. But, you know, me, if I'm from that era, if we battling or we dissing each other, cool. But some of that shit, you're going to watch what you say.
Yeah.
Some of that shit, you're going to watch what you say. Because it might not be me that it tickles their fancy. It might be, you might have tickled the shooter, boy.
And he ain't like it. And he like, if I see that motherfucker, I'm airing him out in traffic. You don't know that, but he in his head thinking that. And then when he see him, he airs him out in traffic. And that's what I pray don't happen. But then when you hear certain stuff, I'd be like, did he just say that? Man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. That's crazy.
Like, what? It's just beef, rap beef? I don't know. That don't sound like just rap beef to me.
No.
You know, when you hear shit like that.
Extremely disrespectful.
So,
But
yeah. I just hope that they keep it on wax. But when you got shit like that, what's the solution? What's the solution? Eventually, y'all got to do what?
you
My
got
bad, bro.
You got to.
Or people, as soon as y'all come together, I hope that's the plan.
Unless it was a setup from the beginning and
right,
it was a play.
It
for
could be
some
staged
more
for
views.
play, and people. It could be that, but we hope that. But then now is putting a trend in. For I've heard a couple new diss songs from other people that got real beef, and I'm like, I hope one of y'all don't. I hope people just don't get shot over no bullshit.
Not even just that. There's a lot. There's a lot of conversations to be had, and this podcast for me is I'm learning a lot, bro. I'm like every person that sits across from me is teaching me,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of like how I was talking about pattern recognition earlier. It's almost like answers are becoming more clear, and I feel like all the conversations that we've had up to this point, complaining about this and how do we do this, how do we do that, a lot of times, like I'm crafting these interviews to ask questions, but regardless of if I ask a question or not, I'm getting answers. Like I'm getting answers to questions I didn't even
ask.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Where I feel like this is the start of something. I don't know what it is, but there's answers here.
Right.
And I don't know.
And that's good.
Working towards it. Last question for you. Are you successful? Do you believe you're successful?
I'm big time successful, man. I measure my success off of just I have accolades, bro. I have accolades that some people just gonna have to work real hard to get. You know, I can measure my success off of I coached softball. I've been to the championship probably 90% of the time. I've been coaching.
Wow.
I coach football. I've been to the championship 90% of the time. Every team I coach probably only loses 2 games, maybe. I sit and look at a trophy case over the last 25 years with over 50 trophies. And then for my self-accolades, I've won a 50 Men of Excellence Award from the Pittsburgh Courier. I'm the first African-American award, first Black History Month award winner in Swissville. I'm the only African-American WPIAL softball coach. I've received a proclamation from the city of Pittsburgh. I've been on a newspaper cover for music, sports teams. I received, 3 years ago, a citation from the state in the Senate. I have my own day in Pennsylvania, August 5th, John Scrap Wilson Day.
Nice.
It's a lot of success. I believe in that being success right there, accolades and rewards off of what you do, not things that I didn't buy the trophy, I didn't vote for myself, I just was acknowledged for all the things that I've done. So when it comes to a football coach, They say, hey, you ever coach a kid that went to the NFL? Yeah, 3.
Was it DeMar Hamlin?
No, Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders, Quentin Jefferson, and KK Mosley. But that's just to the pros. I've coached every team I've coached. I've had a kid, 1 or more, go to college off of since I was all the years,
Right.
college, high school, softball, and everything. So everything that I get involved in, I don't get the keys to the Cadillac. I get the frame. I build my car. I start from the bottom with everything. And then I proved the growth, and I proved that it was hard work and dedication, and something can always, nothing can be always turned into something, you know? So I know it's success because, like my homie said, when I got the citation, he said, cuz, that shit don't say John Wilson, bro. That shit says John Scrap Wilson. He said, they gave a Loke his own day. You never went away from it. The state rewarded a gangster, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like gangsters don't get these rewards for real. You know? Usually they try to crack down on them and find a way. I was so into I even ran for council to change all of that, even to be even more of a gangster, because, you know, politicians is the real gangsters, bro. You get there, you use the real gangster.
Right.
They're the real gangsters. It's just, you know what I mean? And I was almost headed there. But that's when I realized you lose power. You lose the people.
Right.
Somebody's against you. They don't mean to be, but they got to pick one. They got to pick a side, Republican, Democrat.
Yeah.
So even if they love you, they're going to be like, I got to go. So I just, you know, everybody calls me the community hope dealer. That's what I'm called, the community hope dealer.
Community hope dealer.
I deal hope. You know what I mean? I deal faith. I mean, so.
I might have to name that the title of the
podcast. I would suggest you do it, because that's what I am.
Community
that's what
hope
I go
dealer.
by. I'm a community hope dealer. My homie, one of the guys came past this barbershop. My boy Randy brought me a T-shirt like, bro, made this for you. And I was like, oh, and it was a guy with his hand on the steps. He's standing on the steps and he got his hand out too. It's like a little dot and like almost like a stick figure type. And he's pulling the kid and say community hope dealer at the bottom, pulling him up the steps. You know what I mean? And I always went by that, like, I'm a community hope dealer. I never sold no dope, I sold hope. I mean, I sell faith. I'm what these kids see. I understand. I remember what I felt like. I remember what it felt like. My memory is there. I remember why I was doing some things. They're like, wow, like, how did you feel out there? Bro, there was sometimes I was just sitting out there wishing somebody come talk to me real quick and stop me from doing this shit. Like, where's the OG at right now, man? All right. So I started being that OG, walking, being outside, seeing young niggas, talking to them like, yo, what y'all here doing, bro? And they tell me, I'll be like, I know you need the money, but you don't need to do it here. You live here. You know, I was never one person to if they was going to do it and they needed to do it and they had to do it, I wasn't going to tell them they can't do it. Who am I to tell you can't hustle when you ain't got no food to eat and your mom over there strung out? Who am I to tell you that you know, they're not hiring you? They're not giving you a chance, so what you going to do? And you out here, you're not hustling to be the man. You're not hustling to do nothing. It's the only opportunity you got. It's the only thing you got. But I will suggest, I'll be like, it ain't gonna last long. Go buy a lawnmower or something. After you stack your money over here, do something right over here. And once you fuck up, when you mess up, because you're gonna fuck up, make sure you got some support to be like, he's still not a bad person. But if you ain't got nothing to balance that bad out, you're going to always be looked at as, what do you do? Like, if you get arrested selling drugs and you go to work every day and you do all types of stuff for the community and all types of things, and you're really like, I only did it because I don't know how to pay my bills, and it just got so much and they're taking everything away from me. They might be a little lenient on you and understanding, like, okay, I understand you were really doing that. So
I try to make sure that if I catch somebody out there doing that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying, I make sure they out there for that reason. I'll see somebody out there and be like, bro, what you out here for? Your mom, your dad's a lawyer, and y'all, if you don't get your ass in the, I said, bro, they're gonna pop you. You're gonna be the one that gets smoked, bro. Because you're not out here for no other reason but to be cool. The cool ones die quick. Yeah. The ones who got to be out here, they out here because they got to be out here and they don't want to. They will gladly, if you say, bro, switch me, they'll be like, no problem. I ain't in the streets. I'm gonna go stay at your house because y'all, you got everything. Why the fuck you out here? You know? And I just never was one person like, get off the streets. You shouldn't be out here. I don't know why you out here, but if you're gonna be out here, this is what you should do. Go somewhere else. Go poison somebody else's community. Don't make yourself trendy in your own. The police are gonna know you sell drugs if you live here and you're always here. Go sell that shit somewhere else and then go sell that shit somewhere else and then go sell that. Don't ever just sit still in no other place. I never sold drugs, but it makes sense. You know, it just always made sense. That's how I even operated with women. I never went and got no girlfriend that lived around this motherfucker. No.
Go to the suburbs.
No, I go further than that. And I pull up with my girlfriend, they like, who's that? I ain't never seen her before. Good. That's the whole point.
You know what? I got that with my wife. My wife's from Detroit. And I just literally slapped me in the face with like, don't nobody know her. Ain't nobody ever seen her. None of my peers. I mean, it's a thing.
You ain't got to wonder who looks at her and be like, damn, this nigga hit my wife, bro. And he know what everything look like. You know what I mean? He can't even say no. He knows she might be doing some of this shit that this motherfucker taught him. No, I don't want none of that in my brain, bro. I want somebody you had, bro. Take that shit somewhere else. I'm going far. Find somebody nobody had.
Not a thing.
You know.
But that is our time, bro. I know we've covered most. There's definitely some
I'm the
things.
hardest person to interview, but I do too much.
There's a lot, man. There's definitely a lot. But either way, man, I'm extremely just ecstatic and excited. Happy to have you here, man.
Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate it, bro, because it's like perfect time. Yeah. You know, it's perfect timing for what I'm up against. You know what I mean? I've been quiet. I just been like, I still do a lot of things, but I just been like, I learned how to just be humble and fall back. Yeah. But in that humble and fall back, some people forgot. Yeah. And sometimes, you know, there's that flame that just stays lit. What is the Olympic flame? Mm-hmm. It stays lit. It's still lit, but you know, when Olympic time comes, they turn the gas up and I'm like, and right now the gas has been turned up because shout out Sput. I just had a moment, man. And I tagged a lot of people in this moment. And Sput called me back. He didn't even call me back. He just called me 4 or 5 in the morning. And I crashed out, bro. And
crashed on him?
No, to him. And he didn't crash out to me, but he matched some of our struggles and some of the pain that we was going through. We kind of was going through the same thing. It was just like, this was me and this was him.
This was recently?
This is like weeks ago. And this is me and this is him. As a puzzle, it just seemed like as we talked, it was like
fitting together.
It just went like this. And I said, oh, we need each other, bro. I got you if you got me. I said, I ain't got no money, but I'll get us some. I said, you got the facility and the stuff. I can get the people in there. You got the quality, you got the stuff. And when it comes to when somebody asks, the question you ask, leadership. Someone may say I can't, but here I am letting Keith lead the way.
Right.
I went to be a part of his team. I didn't ask him to be a part of my team. But as I got on this team, I let him know, you Pat Riley. You Phil Jackson, excuse me. You Phil Jackson. I see the team you got, but Jordan just got here. And I need that garbage changed. I need this wiped up. I need this done, and I need these type of things done. Yeah. And it's like, man, I don't know if I, you know how niggas is, you get like that. But when the door opens and I see who the people are, all of them in that building was somebody I coached or watched grow up. And I said, yo, change the garbage, bro. Why I look like that? They get up and change the garbage. Everybody's like, that garbage be like that for fucking 2 months. This motherfucker come in here and say change the garbage. And I'm like, I also told him to take a lap when he was 13, 12, 9, 8. They know what I expect. When they see me walking in the door, they know why I'm here.
Yeah.
Because I'm here to help my mans with the vision he gave me when we walked in this building. Yeah. It was empty. No walls, no nothing. And he said, Scrap, I need you on my team. And I'm like, I'm not teaming nothing. So when it came time to, all right, nigga, you'll see. And then was come back and Scrap, open the door. I'm like, oh, you did it. You did it. Where you need me at?
Nice. All right, y'all. You know what it is? It's my play cousin, Mista Scrap right here. Kalaj Dame. You know what it is? See you next week.
Late nights, real talks, turn the noise down. Welcome to Kalaj Dame. City lights, long days, heavy on the mind. Everybody talking, but they never take the time. Truth in my chest, I don't sugarcoat pain. If you sitting at the table, you gotta show your face. Conversations deeper than the surface, we've been shown. Ain't here to sell a dream, just to show you what I know. Every bush matter, every story got away. If you living it for real, you gon' feel this pain. No scripts, no frames, just heart and time. If you listen close, you might change your mind. We don't argue just to win debates. We just shine a light where they hide the grave. It's the Kalaj Dame Podcast, where the real don't gotta broadcast. Every truth gotta pass. Every voice got a lane. It's the Kalaj Dame Podcast. Pull a seat, let the walls crack. If you ever felt unseen, you gon' feel your name. Yeah. From the block to the boardroom, same questions asked. Why we build so fast, we never heal the past. I don't play judge, I don't play your role. I just let you talk while the story unfolds. Bridging gaps, they pretend they there. Men and women trying to meet halfway, no filter. But respect stay intact. If it hit too close, that's a personal